Yeah, sweet. Cool, we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome on in. Let's do this. Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Alien Addict. This is the show where we discuss all things UFOs and aliens to the paranormal. Now, pursuit of the mysteries or the unexplained. Welcome on in. Happy Friday, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Do you know what? I've been so stressful over the past couple of days trying to sort out stuff for Christmas because do you know I was having like a dinner with my nan and I just couldn't believe that Christmas is next week. Unbelievable. And I've been stressing out trying to I leave things to the last minute when it comes to Christmas presents. Even though my missus sent me a list of everything that she needs, like way back in November, I still wait until like just a week before Christmas to get everything. So anyway, it's one of those situations where I ordered things twice on Amazon and I was literally collectively losing my shit before the show. I'm like, do you know what? I'm just done with this. And but anyway, but yeah, happy Friday, guys. Do you know what? The other day, it was like one of those picture perfect moments. Because check this out. Look at this beautiful sunrise that happened a couple of days ago. Yeah, it was a couple of days ago, wasn't it? Not yesterday. But yeah, and it's stunning. I think I got a video of it. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? No, I didn't 420 before the show, by the way. Do you know, I've got a bit of a banging headache, all this stressfulness with Christmas. But nevertheless, I had a beautiful sunrise. Isn't that nice? Pretty cool, wasn't it? But anyway, I am blabbering on because today we have a massive deep dive. Well, when I say deep dive, I think a lot of people have talked about Operation Highjump in terms of what actually happened. And today, what I want to do is to really go back into some publications that I have in terms of what Operation Highjump was about in the 70s and 80s, but then it hits the 90s and then something else comes out, which obviously we're talking about the UFO battle, which, do you know, I quite like the thumb now, actually. Yes, we're going to get to that and everything. So, yeah, this is, again, another, say, a semi-deep dive, not much as the German flying saucers have been doing. But we're going to get into it today. It's going to be an interesting one, I have to admit, because everyone's banging on about Operation Highjump. But let's get to chat. I hope everyone's doing well. So, Corbell's Cats, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Oh, no, you broke your wrist yesterday. Oh, no. I'm guessing you're right-handed. So you have to do everything left-handed now. Oh, man, sorry to hear that. Just, what can I suggest, man? Just take it easy. Take it easy. What did you do? Not that, is it? I'm joking. It sounds serious, man, but I hope you feel better. Hey, Stephen, nice to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, welcome into the show. And obviously, One True Saxon. How's it going, brother? And Chilster, nice to see you, man. John Strokes. Sophia. Oh, look, that beautiful little photograph of Sophia. Hang on, I need to change the style of that. No, hold on. There we go. That's a bit better. Or the block one. Let's do the block one this time. Yeah. And that lovely photograph of you and your dog, Sophia. Is it Derek, isn't it? Is it Derek, your dog? Derek, the dog. But nice to see you, Sophia. Hope you're doing well. Let's just blast through chat. Hey, man, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Nice to see you. And Alex is Elliot. Nice to see you. Oh, another Alex. Alex Flam. Welcome on in, brother. Nice to see you. And UFOs around the world. Welcome on in, brother. Nice to see you. Sheep Pop, Mark G, Godstopper. Oh, got a full house tonight, bloody hell. And Beginning Productions. John Strokes. I think I said hello to you, but welcome on in. I think that is everything. Have I missed everyone? And Nathan from the Cotton Show. And John Mass. Yes, John Mass. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, full house today. Woo! It's a bit of a beastie one. Right, okay, let's get into it. So what I want to do, like we're here on Alien Addicts, we like to, and Green Tea, Ben's live. You could go see Ben if you want to. Talking about 3 Hour Atlas. Don't worry, it's going to be a mixed bag today. And I have some absolutely hilarious, and I'm talking about hilarious, Art Bell calls, which have been stocking up so we can have a bit of a chin wag and a bit of laugh about. But yeah, I mean, Operation Highjump, yes, we'll do a bit of a deep dive, but I will give my overall conclusion afterwards, which is a bit, not say skeptical, but it does twist and turn over the years. But yeah, let's get into it. So what should I start off with? I think we should start off with that first. Okay. So Operation Highjump. We always heard about Operation Highjump. Let's bring my notes up because I've got a lot to talk about. Let's bring the photograph up. Because what people don't realize, hold on, we're talking about Bruce. That's, oh, mate, Blaze Bruce, isn't it? Yeah, Bruce the fluffy black one. Oh, bless him. He is like a big fluff ball, I have to admit. I had a guitarist in the band who had the same sort of dog. I don't know what the name of the dog is. But yeah, it was awfully cute, and it was like a big fluff ball. Oh, so cute. Yes, Admiral Byrd. Yes, we'll get into it. Absolutely. So I think we need to go all the way back to Nazi Germany in terms of what they were doing, because this is a more or less, it's kind of like speculation why Operation Highjump began in the first place, purely because there was a speculation that the Germans actually built an underground base there, or some sort of base establishment. So let's go all the way back to the beginning, to this photograph here on screen right now. And let's start from 1938 to 1939. Now, this was an expedition that happened before the war. Now, bear in mind, like I have mentioned before, that the fact that Nazi Germany were looking into the esoteric realm. I'm not saying this is specifically to do with Antarctica, but they were looking for the Black Stone, the Spear of Destiny, Thor's Hammer, yes, all that sort of ooky spooky sort of stuff. But in terms of why they went to Antarctica, whether or not to actually build an underground base there, or was it for resources? Because that is one aspect of the Third Reich, especially Nazi Germany at the time. Hey, Bob, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you, Mr. Rocket Man. Happy Friday, happy Friday. So obviously, we need to say resources was pretty much on the cards here, because that's what the Germans were doing during the war. They were literally conquering countries to literally steal their oil reserves, because they couldn't just rely on Germany alone. So obviously they were looking for new types of propulsion systems as well, but purely conquering these countries to take over the resources. And I think Antarctica could be put on the cards in this one. So just briefly, just going to go over the... obviously, this is an actual photograph here of 1938. And Germany did take over. You could say they took over... Was it in the hands of Norway? Antarctica. I can't remember. Well, it's good. It's geography or something like that. I can't bloody say the word. But yeah, so briefly in 1938 to 1939, an expedition did take place. Now, they basically took over Antarctica, like the size of Germany. This is how much they did actually conquer. It's quite a lot of territory they did take over Antarctica. And they named this New Schwabenland, or New Schwabia. We'll get to that in a bit. Oh no, it's all over the place. Oh no, what's going on? What's going on? No. Where's the photograph? I had it here. Hold on. No, Christ's sake. Where's the photograph? Here it is. I'll bring it up here. So if you actually go to the Natural Geographic, hey, Alex Elliott, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Did I say hello to you earlier? I think I might have done. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Yeah, that was another operation. Actually, I'll probably allude to if I remember rightly after the show. But yeah, basically right here, if you go to the Natural Geographic map or globe, Scottish Alan, nice to see you as well. How's it going, man? How's it going? But if you have a little look here, it says New Schwabenland. So yes, they did take over a territory in Antarctica, and they remained there throughout the Second World War. I do believe they were doing back and forth trips, either from Germany to Argentina to Antarctica, because you've got to think Argentina is not too far from Antarctica, and whether or not the Germans actually escaped there. But this just goes to show that, look, they did take over quite a vast amount of, oh God, that bloody word. Let's just get rid of that word there. I can't stand him. But yeah, no offense. You should not take anything this guy says in face value. Trust me on that one, okay? But yeah, there it is. Proof's in the pudding, as one would say. So after the Second World War, there was particular rumors that the Nazi Germany established a base in Antarctica. Now, there was two names for these. One was called Station 211, and the other one was called Base X. Now, the Base X theory really came through a publication which we're going to go through today, which is this. But before we get into that, I just need to bring up my notes to make sure I'm on the right track. So yes, I did talk about the exploration of Antarctica, the Nazis back in 1938-39, and they did conquer about 600,000 square meters of terrain, and that's equivalent of 31,000 square miles. That's a lot. You think that is quite a lot. Just go through my notes here just quickly. So, okay. So yes, obviously New Schwabenland or New Schwabia was a real name. I'm just got to go through my notes here because I've got to keep things in category and in order, as one would say. So yes, that's from 1938 to 1939. Just going to skip through here quickly. Yeah, another word for this was called Queen Maud Land, or Maud Land, as one would say. This was under the Norwegian administration. Yeah, so it would have been Norway at the time. So you could say the Germans actually conquered Norway, first of all, before they took over Poland in 1939. Okay, and obviously this was set up by someone called Hermann Goering, who, and obviously as well, what's his name? Oh my God, the names. Oh, not Hans Kammler. Oh, what's his bloody name? The guy who flew to England, to Scotland. It'll come to me. It's in the book here. My brain fart, man. Right, okie dokie. So let's move on to, I think it's worth going through some publications just to show you what the conspiracy around New Schwabia and what the Germans were specifically doing at the time in the 1970s. But what I'm going to do is show you publications that I'm going to present to you in your face today. Because you know me, I like my old publications. And this is my publications that I've bought over the years. First one is going to be a very controversial book, and this is the main part of our focus today. UFOs, Nazi Secret Weapon by Mattern Friedrich, which is that's not the real name, but anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. Nazi UFO Secret Bases Exposed by Dr. E. Strange. We talked about Dr. E. Strange's book called Strangers at the Pentagon that came out in the 1960s, all to do about Valiant Thor, and might talk about this because I went through it. I was like, it doesn't really talk about Antarctica. Hey, how's it going, John P. Adventures? Nice to see you, brother. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. But it does kind of mentions about New Schwabia. or the new Shangri-La, and I think it's to do with Argentina. But anyway, but purely these two publications right here. Very controversial book I'm about to show you, and this is the actual original one. I think it's worth, let's bring it up. Okie dokie. So first publication we're going to bring today is my one. Honestly, anything to do with Nazis, flying saucers, I'm on it, baby. I don't care what the price tag is. You know, I'm like, I just like books. But anyway, this book here, main focus for today, UFOs, Nazi Secret Weapon by Mattern Friedrich. The name is not Mattern Friedrich, okay? The real name of this author is Ernest Zudel, which is, I got to talk about him because I think we need to talk about the author before we talk about the book and whether or not we should actually believe anything the author actually says. It's quite important because it's, like I said, hey, how's it going? Nice to see you, Paul Robinson. Nice to see you. Yes, the Shangri-La. I think that's how you say it. I think that's how you say it. Right, okie dokie. So if you want to see the full print of this book, I'm going to actually got a PDF file here of it on Internet Archive. But before I do that, I think we need to talk about this guy here. Okay, yes. So this publication, actually, no, tell you what, let's bring it up because I got it here. Let's bring this up. Ernest Zudel. Okay, here we go. Right. I will put the link in description for this. And this, you can find this on Internet Archive. And this is just a page for page of the original because there is a reprint of this from 2005. And it's got a bunch of Hannah-Boone real flying saucers, which is not in this original publication. So I think it's worth mentioning. But yes, this book came out. Oh, God. I started drinking protein shake again. I tell you, it's just gives me gas. Right, let's do this. Let's have a look. Where are we to here? Okay, right. This book came out in the 1970s. Specifically, what we're talking about here. First published in 1974. August the 12th, 1974. That's the 74. So the author and publicist, his name is Ernest Zudel. Zundel, I think Zudel. I think that's how you spell it. And he was notoriously known for being a neo-Nazi and a Holocaust denier. Yes, under his own name and pseudonym, like Christoph Friedrich and Mattern Friedrich. That's his pseudonym, but his real name is Ernest Zudel. He had a publication company in Canada, Toronto, Canada, called Samizdat Publishers. And there was a number of books that he put forward in the 1970s, obviously kind of like glorifying Hitler a little bit, you know, sort of discrediting the Holocaust and stuff like that. It's like I said, a lot of Holocaust denier books that came out of this Samizdat Publishers in the 1970s. He was actually banged up in jail at one point near the end of his life, especially in the 1980s. But a lot of the stories behind Operation Highjump has come from this book. And like I said, guys, I think it's actually worth bringing up the author of this book because you understand where the stories are really coming from. Am I supposed to trust a Holocaust denier? Am I supposed to trust a neo-Nazi? And in one respect, through my research of interviews of Ernest Zudel, it's a bit... It's like, you know what I mean? It's a bit spicy and it's a bit Hitlery in one aspect. So I think it's just worth bringing up, okay? If you want to take it in face value, that's absolutely fine. It's up to you. But nevertheless, this is the stories about Antarctica. Before we get into Operation Highjump, we need to talk about the Nazis and what they were doing there, because obviously that leads into Operation Highjump. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to skip forward. So this book basically shows you, in terms of weaponry, what happened to Hitler after the war. I'm just gonna blast through this quickly just to get to the point. I mentioned something about the Jays there, not very good. You understand how controversial it is? It's, in fact, I think it's actually banned in Canada or Germany, or one of the two. But it just mentions secret technologies that are involved, the rocket programs, advanced technologies, which is coming up in a minute. Hold on, where is it to? Yeah, there we go, like sound cannon. allegedly was built. We have Aeroliusk bag, whatever it's called, Sun Cannon, Pandora's box, amongst other things. But specifically, we want to go to. Also mentions about the atomic bomb that the Germans were actually developing at the time. There's only like a very small scale of it. Where is it to? It's here somewhere. Okay, here we go. This is the part I want to talk about here. Okay, so this is the extract from the book. And sorry, guys, if I'm not paying attention to chat, I will get to it at some point. I just want to get through this quite. Oh, I think I mentioned about that. Just have a look. Just make sure I got the right page. Yeah, this is it. I'm a bit nervous at reading. I think we got to do it. So, top secret Nazi expeditions. So, let's turn our attention to the location of the bases. Again, even in the area Hitler had planned far ahead. Let's just make it a bit bigger for me. There we go. Planned far ahead at long range. Obviously guided by the possible occupation and subsequent loss of Germany itself. He had cast a round of land still available for colonization and found that Antarctica was, at the time, the only continent still unclaimed. With the unusual dispatch of polar expedition was organized, the preparation in which was kept secret. Forces consist of several large vessels, at least two which were aircraft carriers, not to the present day type, but rather than large ships and floating equipment airplanes on board. The planes were rocket captured off special ramps at the end of the ships and retrieved at the end of the water via a crane. Now, this secret Nazi expedition forces was headed by Captain Richter. That took place in 1937 to 1938. Now, the forces landed in the area of Queen's Mardeland and established bases there. Now, large float planes and the right there, whatever that is, I guess that's some sort of a type of plane type, was unusual propeller were used to explore the huge terrain of Antarctica. Over 11,000 photographs were taken for mapping purposes. Now, significantly, the swastika flags was dropped every 20 kilometers to subterrane the Germans' claims that the land, composing over 600,000 square kilometers in all. In this way, not only was the terrain claimed by Germany, larger than Germany itself. Yes, like I said, it was a massive terrain, even larger than Germany, according to this. But significantly, for the first time, ice-free oases like warm lakes were found by this secret Nazi expedition. Again, how we had the warm lakes that Admiral Byrd actually found as well when he went to Antarctica in Operation Highjump, and straight after World War II. Well, a couple of years after World War II. So he's saying the same thing. There were obviously photographs along the Alp-like mountain range, over 4,000 meters in height. Naturally, the explored area were given German names, so they have today's place like that there. I can't even pronounce that. Richard's Peak, I think that's what it's called, named after a leader of the expedition. The hot oasis amongst the internal ice was called that. Oh, the German names, I can't pronounce it. It's basically a lake group. Different colored appearances of these in-island lakes were caused by alga found floating in is that algae? Alga found floating in the sweet water. The waters were warm enough to allow swimming and bathing, with just bathing suits and swimming trunks. Okay, so we do have a few declassified photographs. I won't say declassified, but they were actually found in German archives. But here's another aspect: is did they see green shrubbery, Greenland, basically? So here I'll just go back a little bit just to show you. So, yeah, here's some photographs. I didn't read that bad. So, yeah, here we have some propeller planes taken off from the actual boat itself. Let's go here. So, the flying boats. So, the expeditions took over 11,000 photographs, mapping purposes, approximately 600,000 square meters. That's a lot. So, we can see some ice-free islands here. And whether or not it's actually, because it's black and white, it's kind of hard to tell, whether or not you can actually see like trees, grass growing, it's like some greenery, because that's what apparently Admiral Byrd saw when he was doing his flyovers. Okay. Just make sure I'm on the right bit. Just look over there. Yeah, this just briefly, okay, it's just telling you what the sort of terrain Antarctica was, because one thing that Admiral Byrd actually did was actually preserve food, and they found out that Antarctica would be a perfect place for the Germans to actually set camp or base there, purely because it can actually preserve food. Colds and viruses won't survive there. They found a warm oasis deep underneath the ice sheets. And in one way, if you got your shit right, you can actually probably live there. You know, obviously growing food is going to be a bit difficult, but it can even preserve food. And that's what Admiral Byrd actually mentioned. And it's saying that vegetarians like Hitler himself would have been perfect for a place like this. You know, that's just, again, one speculation. Again, it's mentioned the food here can actually be preserved. I'm just going to gloss over this just briefly. I want to get to Operation Highjump. Where is it to? Yeah, there's one aspect of this book, and it talks about Hitler's escape. Now, that's a whole different rabbit hole in its own, which I will love to talk about at some point, maybe near the end of the show when we get into the other publications. But that's one aspect of this book, talking about Hitler's escape, which it's just all speculation. But I truly believe that he did bugger off. You know, I think even though Hitler wasn't in great health near the end of the war, the Second World War, I do believe he had allies that could easily take him in and hide him. Especially, obviously, Argentina was, especially Bariloche in Argentina, where apparently Hitler fled. Sorry, I'm rambling, guys. I just want to make sure I get the right bit, because it does mention Operation Highjump here. Oh, yes, this is it. This is it. So, yeah, this is quite interesting. I didn't realize this. So the Soviets did participate in an interesting one, since Winston Churchill had already spoken at the Iron Curtain, which was obviously Soviets, isn't it? Or Russia, I think, wasn't it? The Iron Curtain that had failed. The Crusaders in Europe, had killed the wrong pig. Obviously, Churchill, now realizing that they should have destroyed Bolshevik Russia, not Germany. Yeah, I can't. You know what? In terms of how the war was won, I mean, you could thank winter for that, really, because it did kill off a lot of German soldiers. But, I'm going off on one side. It's just, you know me. Let's have a little look. Just make sure I've got everything right here. Okay. So the general public was told that the research mission, this is what we're talking about, the US colony of Argentina now, Antarctica, sorry, obviously Operation Highjump. The mission was interested in locating uranium and the study of weather. So this was the official explanation for Operation Highjump. It was to literally test equipment, all right? So now we're moving away, I should have clarified this, we're moving away 2 years after the Second World War. I'll make sure I'm on the right page here. Yeah, okay. So yes, we're moving away from the Second World War, and we're now from 1947 to 1948. Now, this is where Operation Highjump actually took place, okay? So we're moving on to that. So yes, that was the official explanation for this, locating uranium and the studies of weather. Admiral Byrd, which was a very famous American Antarctic and polar Antarctic expeditionist, who was actually quite famous for the time in the 1930s for really sort of spending his time sort of studying Antarctica, there was one brief conspiracy, whether or not it's true, that I actually did meet with the Germans in the 1930s, but I think that's more or less speculation. But it does say here, Admiral Byrd, who had already undertaken a similar, through a much smaller, speedier investigation of the North Pole, was asked why he had recommendations to establish of armed observation camps. Which is a good point, actually. So they reply, because the pole lies between us and our enemies. Now, El Macharo, Santiago, Chile newspaper. Now, one aspect needs to be taken into consideration. This is actually true. There were actual journalists on the ship called the Olympus. This is the ship that Admiral Byrd was on. This is like the big aircraft carrier. All right, this is a gigantic ship, which was called the Olympus. And there were actually Chile journalists on board. And this was, there was a few quotes actually was taken. And this is one of the quotes right here. It says, because the pole lies between us and our enemies. And that was taken in this newspaper on July the 7th, 1947. Now, further questioning as which enemy he meant, since the Axis powers have just been defeated, unconditionally surrendered, brought no response. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's 2 years after the war. You're not going to go and say, yeah, we're just going to defeat this Nazi base that we think is still operating in Antarctica. So obviously they gave the excuse saying it's just for uranium, actually to study the penguins, study of weather, testing equipment, yada, yada, yada. So, however, it was soon learned that the well and scientific jobs, the mission had the task of observing the activities of foreign powers in the South Pole region. Questioned further in this part of the expedition activities, Admiral Byrd replied, to break the last desperate reinforcement. Sorry, no, I read that completely wrong. I do apologize. I'm going to start over again. To break the last desperate resistance of Adolf Hitler in case we find him in New Schwabenland, inside New Schwabenland and in Queen-Maud-Land region, or to destroy him. So there's another quote right there. It's like, make it too bloody obvious there. A Spanish book, Hitler Estel Viva, page 161, reported that Byrd expedition was equipped with at least the latest devices among the detector thermomagnetico, whatever that bloody that is. No idea. So the US expeditions duly arrived and landed in Antarctica. Sorry, guys, I will screw my words up, man. This headache is not shifting at all. With them, as the very least, in the military gear and gadgets, with amphibian, so basically tanks to troop carriers, helicopters, floating planes, and every other conventional military apparatus. Bases were established and quickly expanded. Obviously, we're talking about the Americans right here. Observation planes were sent over the region, reproduced here in the map, given a flight pattern for all the flights undertaken. Now, many thousands of photographs were taken from mapping missions flown. This is obviously the Americans doing the same thing, because obviously you need to track these swastika flags that were dropped every bloody kilometers. So you understand the task they had to undertake, all right? So one particular flight one particular flight stands out amongst those reported, and one which Admiral Byrd himself was aboard. The instruments went totally haywire, and the performance gauges and altimeters behaved in the most erratic manner, causing Admiral Byrd to abort the flight to return back to base. On visual controls, all instruments returned to normal soon as he opened terrain had been reached. So yeah, again, we have Admiral. Bear in mind, this is 1974. This is way before the UFO attack that came out in like the 1990s, which we'll get to in a bit. But here we have Admiral Byrd. He was doing these flights, and again, if you want to believe this story was correct, the fact that the instruments went haywire in his plane, that kind of links into Admiral Byrd's diary. I'm screwing my words today. I'm sorry. So yeah, we have that one segment there that is apparently true according to his diaries. So what we've got here: attack on base, last battalion. So in one aspect, I mean, I'm going to bring up what they actually brought forward in Operation Highjump, because it was a massive army, and I should really specify that. You know, this operation was it had over 4,700 personnel plus another 5,500 troops in full battle draft gear. All right, so this is like full-on weaponry. There were 13 ships, including aircraft carriers, icebreakers, seaplane tenders, and even submarines. There was 33 aircraft, including D4D planes, Martin PMB Marines, and even the earliest helicopters. And right here, we've got tanks, you can see in the picture here. We had cargo refueling planes. They are literally taking an army to Antarctica and they say, it's for training purposes only. It's like, no, I don't think so. I mean, Admiral Byrd himself said, I'm pretty sure, well, the newspaper said it's the race to find uranium. And Admiral Byrd actually came out in December saying, no, this is for military purposes only. I think that's an actual real quote. Well, we'll get to the quotes in a minute. Okay, so let's have it. So the US I can't even believe to pronounce that anyway. It has been reported by papers and sources previously mentioned here that Admiral Byrd had located a secret Nazi base and was approaching it when above incident took place, causing abandonment of the flight, but not before he reported to have dropped an American flag. Some reports mentions a bomb on this approximate spot of the base. Undoubtedly, this was done to warn Hitler he was not entirely safe, even in his new his hideout. And obviously Hitler's Shangri-La. There we go. We'll get to the Shangri-La quote in a minute. Vengeance were apparently swift, and it seems that the Fuhrer was not to be humored. Within 48 hours, 4 of Byrd's plane had been lost, some without a trace and others without any survivors. Admiral Byrd hastily abandoned all his efforts and disembarked with all his forces for home. Yeah, this is the other thing. It didn't last that long. If I remember my quotes here, it was supposed to be for at least an 8-month stay, and they're only there for about 8 weeks, I believe, if I remember rightly. We'll get to that in a minute. Where is it? Got it here. So, according to my notes, yeah, there were actually fatalities. 4 personnels went missing. Were never actually seen. Bear in mind, you may say this is actually speculation, but at the same time, a lot of Operation Highjump documents are still classified. We still don't really know what actually happened there, to be honest. There was additional 1 death in July of 1947. This is, I think, there was a lot of flyover, especially they were taking a lot of photographs at the time, trying to spot where the Germans actually placed the swastika flags. Like I said, it was the size of Germany. They did it every 20 kilometers. So this was a mass terrain. And I think a lot of planes, a few planes actually went missing because the terrain was quite. You think this is 1947. They didn't have like the best technology in terms of what the Americans actually had at that time, even though they did have, the Nazi scientists, but whether or not they were still using propeller planes. Do you understand? Even with the photographs I'm showing you right here. Probably not all the cases, but anyway. So this is the Olympus. This is Admiral Byrd's actual base of operation as a massive Oh, I think I got a photograph here. It's like a massive battleship, basically. So on board the flagship Olympus, he gave the following startling interview, translated from Spanish. It was reported in the paper of El Macharo, San Diego, Chile, on March the 5th, 1947. It appears on the front page under the headline. Now, this is what I say in here: on board the Mount Olympus on the high seas. Apparently, Admiral Byrd gained an interview with Lee Van Atta. Admiral Byrd describes today that it was imperative for the United States to initiate immediate defense measures against hostile regions. I'm so sorry, guys, if I'm screwing up the words. The Admiral Führer stated that he didn't want to frighten anybody without. The Admiral further stated that he did not want to frighten anyone unduly, but that it was a bitter reality that in case of a new war, the continental United States would be attacked by flying objects that can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. We'll get to that quote in a minute. Earlier, we had recommendations defense bases in the North Pole. Admiral Byrd repeated the above points of view, resulting in his personal knowledge gathering both on the North and South Pole before the news conference held its international news services. So this is one of the quotes that obviously he's saying that the continental United States needs to defend itself from flying objects that can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. You can see the quote right there. We'll get to that quote in a minute. All right. So where is the newspaper report? Is that it there? Okay. How much have we got of this? What's the big UFO cover up? Yeah, that's going to like German flying saucers. Okay. Okay, let's just read this last little bit. I hope everyone's doing all right in chat. I haven't been paying attention to you guys. Really, really sorry. I will do in a minute. I'm just going to finish this last bit off. We're going to put this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Hopefully, and I can bloody see it as well. So during this press conference, Admiral Byrd also stated that in a quickly shrinking world of the United States could no longer derive any senses of security from the isolation or on the geographic distance of the poles or oceans. Admiral affirmed once again his belief that the entire Antarctic continent should be closely watched and surrounded by a wall of defense installation, since it represented the last line of defense for America. Apologies. The defense measures have been since taken. Now, Admiral Byrd further stated that no one could give a more accurate account of the true significance of the situation that he could. Since he had the since he had the occasion to employ at least scientific developments, Nick, and from what he had learnt, he could make comparisons, meaning he had the encounter of efforts of a secret weapon. We're talking about Hitler there. When Admiral Byrd had arrived in the United States, and the significance of the findings that he found their way into the press, and he was hospitalized, I think with James Forrestal as well, might get brought up. No hard information was ever unearthed, but it seems this frank statement to the press in South America and on board the Olympus were not appreciated by the powers that would be in Washington. Was he thus the first victim of a long string of prominent people removed from circulation? for their honest belief of unidentified flying objects flying at incredible speeds from pole to pole. Interesting. All right. Well, I think that's it for this bit here. You can guys read for yourself. I'll put the link in chat because now it moves on to German flying saucers. Hence, if I go down, oh, base X, that was it. That was it. This is what I want to get into. I think this was called base X before it was called Station 211. Hang on, guys, just 2 seconds. No, I don't think it was. I think I'm screwing up my research here. This is to do with nothing to do with Antarctica. No, I'm getting it wrong. Okay, right. I'm going to backtrack and I'm going to say I said base X was to do with Antarctica. It's not. I do apologize. That was my misdoing with my quotes here. The name given for the base in Antarctica, they're talking about the Nazi base, was called Station 211 and not base X. That is to do with German flying disc, which you can see right here. There we go. We've got Victor Schauberger's disc right there. What else we've got here? That was an experimental craft. We have Rudolf Schriever, Richard Mithes, Giuseppe Belluzzo, and Otto Hobermore's projects. Going down here, Model 1. There we go. So, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's fine. Right, so, me old cock and balls. That is a little extract from 1974 about Antarctica. Does it mention about a UFO battle with Houndaboo flying saucers? No, it doesn't. Well, not just yet. Okay, so you understand in the 1974 what basically New Schwabenland was all about, all right? But there were mentions of Admiral Byrd's aircraft instruments literally going haywire, and I think that's a very important thing to latch onto for the time being. As we move forward to... again, guys, I will put this in description for you to read. Again, there's a bit spicy stuff in there. It's a very controversial book, and I think it's worth maybe taking everything that he says with probably a tiny bit of pinch of salt. Okay, but I just wanted to show you where the story started to really develop. I mean, yeah, the 1950s, we were talking about Antarctica, but the nitty-gritty part of Operation Highjump really started from this book here from 1974. All right. So let's move on to this publication right here. This is my one, Nazi UFOs Secret Bases Exposed by Dr. E. Strange. We talked about Dr. E. Strange, all about his involvement with Valiant Thor. I did an episode on that. Obviously, he wrote a book, well, a number of publications. There was actually his full publication on eBay for about $200. It was literally everything. And I was like, oh, do I really want to spend that much money on that? But nevertheless, here it is here. This is a publication that came out in 1982. We're going to get into it. It's only very, very short, guys. It's only like 23 pages. There's nothing like absolutely, crazy. Look how dirty my desk is. Terrible. Here we go here. Dr. E. Strange. This is from California. I'm just going to bring this closer to here. Okay, so here we go. 1982. What does it says in this? Because it's talking about UFOs and bases and stuff like that. So what we've got here, obviously talks about German flying discs, not the Houndaboo real flying saucers. We've got another 11 years to go ahead before it actually gets mentioned. So I'm not going to go through everything here. It's just basically the bases, the secret bases part. So we've got the mystery unfolds, the Coanda effect, Hitler's wildest weapons, the flying discs, and the V7. The U-209, that's the submarine that took Hans Kammler out of Germany at the Second World War. The Reno sightings and epilogue. Is that right? Meh. Right, okie dokie. Do I need to read this bit here? The UFO phenomena has been for many years posed many problems, but the problems have keenly disturbed individuals from every rank and files of society. It is the fact that UFOs have caused consternation in high places. Shut up, Nick. And the world government. I don't fucking know what that bloody word says. And any honest individuals interested in the investigation of unidentified flying objects must agree that regardless of what region they represent, there is a fine line that must be drawn and recognized, dividing fact from fiction. I need a swig of my tea. At least my headache's gone. Thank you, Nurofen. Please sponsor Alien Addict. Because they don't fucking kick in quick. There is one thing. To fly my tea. Well, stop that. I love my J2O. There's one thing I get really nervous about. It's me reading. I knew it was going to happen. It has to be done. If I got republications, I can't rely on Jenny or Lily to do the reading. I didn't even 420 before the show because I had a bloody headache. So anyway, let me just have a little drink of this. Do you know what? It's funny. You had some teenagers going, oh, I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to be drinking some J2O. I'm like, mate, it's a non-alcoholic drink. Dumbass. I swear to God, the teenagers are thick as shit these days. No offense if you're a teenager in chat. I think we're all adults here anyway. Right, let's get back to it. The UFO phenomena can be separated into many fractions. It must be repeatedly understood that one sole answer to the UFO problem is not significant. It is important to rely on numerous facets, whatever, of the unusual diamond and order of derive various possibilities, explanations to the perplex UFO question. The book will, so this publication right here, this book will explore one particular of the UFO diamond by zeroing on the Nazi UFO secret and bases. Sightings have been made of certain craft since 1945 that is said to be of German origin. This claim has to be investigated thoroughly. I'm just going to hide this through chat because I know you're bitching about my reading. The information in this book has been gathered from several sources. These include Hermann Klaus. Oh, I know Hermann Klaus. Professor Dr. Hermann Oberth, who was the teacher of the late Dr. Werner von Braun. Certain members of the German Secret Services, the Central Intelligence Agency files, the United States Air Force, and other allied intelligence sources. In the annals of UFO history, the Nazi sources were given 4 titles by the Allied commands: Smoky Saucers, Hitler's Wildest Dreams, German Flying Discs, and the Secret Flying Machines. Oh, did I read that perfectly? No, I didn't. All right, we're not going to read all the way through this, but Mystery Unfolds, U.S. Intelligence Report. I think we're going to skip all that. We've got Mr. Mustachio Man himself. That's Hermann Goering right there. I can't tell who else is there. Oh, it says there Otto. Yeah, a lot of these people went into the hands of the Americans. Secret discs. This is talking about the German flying discs. Liquid fuel research. This is also to do with the Quander effect. These were the flying discs. Nothing to do with how Naboo was real. Okay, this is about 12 years before those reports start to come out. UFO investigation starts, reported sightings. We're going to skip through that. Hitler's wildest weapon, Japanese involvement. Hitler's Inner Circle, the 12 weapons. Yeah, this is apparently allegedly what they had. So the flying disc, combat tanks, formed from one solid piece, I should say. Sound wave cannons, flaming artificial cloud, super robot bombs, electrical charge clouds. So that sounds quite interesting. Sensational shells, electromagnetic KM2 rockets, paralyzed ray gun, electronic balls of light. Oh, that's interesting. Electronic ball lighting. Sorry, I said that wrong. And flying bottle tubes spheres. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Maybe it was something to do with that then. Because remember the spheres we're talking about were obviously Foo Fighters back in the day. And this actually is after Renato Vesco's book that came out in the 1970s as well, 1960s, called Intercept UFOs But Don't Shoot, which talks about advanced German technology, but specifically Foo Fighters being spheres. There we go. Okay. Anyway, I'm talking about German flying saucers here. Here's some publications back in the day: Flying Discs and V7. The V7 was obviously that there by Rudolf Schriever, Richard Methe, Dr. Giuseppe Belluzzo, and Otto Hobbermore. You could say Hermann Klaus was part of that as well. But we want to talk about, there we go. Just a very, very, very small extract right here. Secret German bases. Information from the World Intelligence Agencies had led to the revelations that 9 secret German bases where the saucer-shaped craft are manufactured and serviced. They are located in these areas: South Andes region, the Argentine province of Lampa, triangular area of Bahia. Oh, fucking hell, that's somewhere in Chile. We've got a place in Sicily, South Africa, northern Siberia, Italy, and Rio, Nevada. Okay, well, no mention of Antarctica. That's my bad. I didn't read the publications. I just saw that secret German bases. Anything else on here we can mention there? According to Professor Hermann Klaus, he was a aviation journalist back in the day, in the 1950s actually, talk about German flying discs. Search and accurate construction of the flying discs are still quite prevalent in the South Andes of South America, Southern Andes of South America. UFO reports have come to light through various media sources, including the Mexican national press, some smoky sources as they are called, but the people in South America are unique among UFO sightings around the world. Whilst in flight, these crafts make loud noises, shoot off orange flames, and huge puffs of black smoke are emitted. Okay. Well, that sounds like not alien craft. That sounds like a jet propulsion system in that regards. Anything I can mention here? There we go. Belluzzo V7. I think that's it. Oh, hold on. Okay, well, I thought it talked about Antarctica because it did mention about bases in here. Okay, well, that's my bad. I just want to show you what publication I got. We go all the way back to the beginning. Nazi UFO secret bases exposed. Secrets and bases exposed by Dr. Eve Strange. So again, it's just a very, very small publication right there. You could go read it for yourself if you want to. But yeah, I think we talked about this when we talked about German flying saucers. I'm pretty sure I did. So there we go. There we go. Nothing to do with Antarctica. Let's bring this one up. Shangri-La, I guess so. I think this is more to do with Hitler buggering off, actually, to Argentina. Okay, but this is not the end of the story, because obviously we want to talk about the battle. Where did this battle come from? And this is where I start to go, okay, where does the original story come from? And this is what I always find as a researcher. Let's just go through chat quickly, is to find out where it all started. So you can see from the 70s, the 80s. In fact, the one I missed is actually this one here in the 60s, which I don't think really mentions about Antarctica itself, but it's mostly if Hitler buggered off to Argentina itself. But there are snippets of rumors that whether or not the Germans actually developed a base and whether or not an actual battle happened as well, because Admiral Byrd had a very, very short trip there. Hey, Bino from Oz from 1975. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. And happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. I'm just going to bust through chat just really quickly, just in case I missed anything. Hey, Puck Health. Hope you're doing, man. Oh, yeah, it's morning for you. But yeah, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee and 420 if you want to. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, brother. So, yes, UFO battle. Where did this happen? All started from Admiral Byrd's diary. And you think, where did the diary come from? I don't know where the diaries come from. Well, don't worry, because me and my researching skills, i.e., this time I actually used Grok for this one, because I was scratching my head. I'm going, but what's the first publication? Like, tell me. And I couldn't really find anything. And I did have an inkling, but then, you know, the advancement of AI sort of helped me out on this one. So really, it all started from Admiral Byrd's diary. And I'm going to bring up the original book that came out in 1990. I think specifically 1992. Don't worry, I got it here because we're going to go through it. Where is it to? Right, got it. Fantastic. This book right here came out in 1990 and 1992. So we're skipping 25 years ahead from the 1974 book or something thereof to this book. The Missing Diaries of Admiral Richard E. Byrd. When Admiral Byrd died, the alleged story behind this is that the fact that there was a book found from Admiral Byrd's son, which I can't remember what his name was. And apparently there was the secret journals that he had talked about basically what he experienced in Antarctica in Operation Highjump between 1947 and 1948. And eventually it was put into a book. And since the birth of the internet, it's just gone absolutely bloody wild. They're taking bits and pieces of the story, and it's got a whole world of its own. And we will get into it. Let's bring this up a bit bigger, okay? So again, I will put this in the description so you can go read for yourself. So luckily enough, I mean, the Internet Archive has done some bloody wonders for actually finding these original publications in all its form. And again, this also mentions at this point from 1990 onwards. Actually, no, let me just get this right. Okay, I need to get this in perspective here because we are talking about anti-gravity German flying saucers, which specifically Haunebu, which did not come out until 1992. Obviously, we talked about that in great depth into the Vril project book that I broke down in terms of, I think it's like part 5, 6, I think I've done on the anti-gravity Haunebu Vril flying saucers. And that's where that story really began. So if this came out in 1990, this was before Haunebu and Vril. But it also talks about the hollow earth theory as well. And Nordics and reptilians. And yeah, it's all a bit topsy-turvy. But nevertheless, let's do this. So you can go check this out for yourself. I'm going to go through, I think it's just a very, very small publication. 35 pages. Hardly a bloody book, isn't it? And here we go. I haven't really looked into this book. Oh, there we go. Look, there it is. 1990. So this is a reenaction of Admiral Byrd's historical flight planned by the International Society for a Complete Earth. Readers of this diary who wish additional information of the hollow earth theory are instructed to write to blah, 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 blah. The society also wishes to announce that there was an organization since yeah, well, we'll get through this anyway. There he is. Look at that. Is this a book? Is this the original book? 'Cause it's very lazy in terms of description right here. Can you see this on screen? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, fantastic. All right. It's looking very flash there. Ah, beautiful little dog. Flight log, camp. Architect. Oh my god, I'm screwing my words up. February 19th, 1947. Again, we are dealing with propeller planes. Let's get to his diaries. Was he flipping the bird there? Oh, no, it wasn't. You were like, fuck you all, I'm out of here. Okay. Oh, here we are. Sorry, guys. Just, so yeah, the flight log here, we can see the description. So all presentations are completed of our North Ward, and we are airborne with full fuel tanks at blah 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 blah. So this is part of where he was filling. His plane was getting filled. He was going to do a routine run of actually taking photographs of the terrain, which was by himself. So at 6:20. The plane was obviously fueled. It seems quite rich adjustment. Blah 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 blah. Radio checked with base camp at 7:30. All is well and radio reception is normal. Okay, so there we go with that. So 10 minutes later, slight oil leak from the engine. Oil pressure indicates seems normal. However, at 8 o'clock in the morning, slight turbulence noted from eastern direction and altitude of 2,321 feet. Correction to 1,700 feet. No further turbulence, but tailwind increases. Slight adjustments of the throttle control. Aircraft performance very well now. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically going through his diary. Now, we don't actually see the original diary pages itself. It's just written down in sequence to these photographs. Seems a bit odd, but anyway. So this is 8:15. So radio check with the base camp. Situation normal at 8:30. Turbulence encountered again, increasing altitude of 2,900 feet. Smooth flight conditions again. So at 9:10 in the morning, fast ice and snow below. Noted correlation of yellowish natural and disperve in the linear pattern, altering course for the better. I need to put this up a bit bigger. I can't bloody see this. I need bloody glasses at that point. Altering courses for a better examination of the color pattern below. Note the reddish and purple color also. Circle this area of 2 full turns and return to assign compass ahead. Position checked made again to base camp and relying information concerning colorization of the ice and snow below. Okie, moving on. Okay, so we're saying here magnetic and gyro compass began to gyrate. Hey, I haven't heard that word in a while. And wobble. Every time gyrate, it just reminds me of someone like shaking their flipping nets or something like that. We are unable to hold our head and by instrumentation, whatever it's called, taking bearing with the sun compass, so obviously using the sun as a compass, and yet it all seems well. The control are seemingly slow to respond and have sluggish quality, but there is no indentation of the icing. At 9:15, the distance that's what appears to be mountains. 29 minutes elapsed flight time for the first sighting of the mountains. This is no illusion. They are mountains that consist of a small range that I have never seen before. 10 minutes later, altitude changes to 2,950 feet, encountering strong turbulence again. Blah, 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 crossing over the small mountain range and still proceeding northwards as best as I can. Sustain? what it's called. Beyond the mountain range. All this bloody reading. I need Jenny. Jenny, where are you, darling? Beyond the mountain range, that appears to be a valley with a small river or stream running through the center position. There should be no green valleys below. Something is definitely wrong and abnormal here. We should be over ice and snow. To the port side are great forests growing on the mountain slopes. Our navigation instruments are still spinning. The gyroscope is obsculating. Yeah, obsculating. So this is 10:05. So basically, he's saying his instruments are going wild again, which hence back to the 1974 book that his instruments was going haywire, according to the quotation of that book. An alternative altitude of 1,400 feet, and execute a sharp left turn to a better examination of the valley below. It is green with either moss or some sort of type of knit grass. The light here, it seems different, and I cannot see the sun anymore. We make another left turn and we spot what seems to be a large animal or some kind below us. It appears to be an elephant. No, it looks like a mammoth. Now, this is according to Admiral Byrd's diary. This is incredible. Yet it is there. Decreased altitude of 1,000 feet and took the binoculars for a better examination of the animal. It confirmed it's definitely a mammoth-like animal. Reported this to base camp. Oh God! Right. Hold on a minute. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know if this is actually the original publication right here. So this is 10:30. So ours encountered more rolling green hills now. The external temperature in the interior reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Continuing on our heading now, navigation instruments seem normal now. I am puzzled over the actions. I'm puzzled over their actions. Attempt to contact base camp. The radio is not functioning. Now, 11:30, so he's been gone for a number period of time. Countryside below is more level and normal. Even I may use that word. Ahead we spot what seems to be a city. That is impossible. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God! Off our post and stars board wings are at strange types of aircraft. Doesn't make any sense. They are closing rapidly. Okay, so off the port and stars broad wings are a strange type of aircraft. They are closing in rapidly alongside. They are disc-shaped and have a radiant quality to them. They are close enough that to see the markings on them. It is some type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They were not responding, and we were caught in invisible vice grip of some type. This is 11:35 out. So our radio, the radio crackles, and the voices comes through in English, that what perhaps is a wait for it. But yeah, that's a Hanabu. That's a very, very fake photograph, which is slight Nordic and dramatic accents. The message is, welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you exactly 7 minutes. Relax. 4:20, mate. That's what you got to do. Admiral, Admiral, you're in good hands. Note the engines of our planes have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control and is now turning itself. The controls are useless. At 11:40 hours, another radio message received. We began landing proceeding now. And the moment in the plane shudders slightly and begins to descend and through caught in some great unseen elevator. The downward motion is negligible. Sorry, that word then. And we touched down with only a slight jolt. At 11:45 a.m., I am making a hasty last entry in the flight log. Several men are approaching on foot towards our aircraft. They are tall with blonde hair. It's probably be real sick. In the distance is a large shimmering city pulsing with rainbow hues of color. I don't know what is going on here, but it seems no sign of weapons or on these approaching. I hear the voice ordering me by name to open the cargo door. I comply. Oh my God, how much we got of this? Right. So basically at this point now, do I want to read any more? I probably should really, because we get to the nitty gritty now, aren't we? Guys, are you bearing by this? The 32 people in chat. I appreciate you, everyone being here. The yes, of course, the Nordics gets brought up on this one. I'm just going to go through chat. Hey, living with Dream. Nice to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Apologies for my flipping bad reading, but we will get through this. But I think it's worth going through because we're getting to the nitty gritty now. So yes, Admiral Byrd's plane was hijacked by this invisible force. You had this, yes, happy 420, yes. So plane was taken under control, went to pretty much a city where these Nordics were waiting for him, which sounds pretty fucking awesome, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm quite enjoying this, actually. Right, let's continue. Let's do this. Where are we to? Where is you two, Admiral Byrd? Oh, there it is there. Okay, so it would seem but madness if it had not just happened. The radio man and I are taken from the aircraft and we are receiving in the most cordial manner. We were then boarded in a small platform-like conveyance with no wheels. Yeah, conveyance with no wheels. It moves us towards a glowing city with great swiftness. As we approach, the city seems to be made of a crystal material. What, bit like Superman's planet, isn't it? Home planet. Soon as we arrive at the large building, it is a type I have never seen before. It appears to be right out of the design board of Frank Lloyd Wright, or perhaps more correctly, out of the Buck Rogers setting. We are given some type of warm beverage. Ooh, lovely. Did they give you a joint as well, which tasted like nothing I have ever tasted before? No, I didn't say that. It is delicious, I bet. I bet that the best space weed as well. After 10 minutes, two of our wondrous appearances host come to our quarters and announce that I am to comply them. Is that making sense? Am I reading this right? I have no choice but not. Oh my fuck's sake! I have no choice but to comply. I leave my radio man behind, and we walk a short distance and entering into what seems to be an elevator. We descended downwards for some moments. The machine stopped. The door lifted silently upwards. We then proceeded down a long hallway that lit by a rose-colored light and that seems to be emitting from the very walls itself. One of the beings motioned for us to stop before a great door. Over the door is oh my God, do I bloody want to read this even more? Okay. I'm just going to break this down in bullet points. I'm going to read this really quickly. Okay, so we have a beautiful. I think I just have to read this, to be honest with you. How long we got? Oh my God, we got all that. Oh my God. Okay, so basically, the rundown of this: he gets taken into the city. He gets shown the inner Earth. Obviously, we're talking about the hollow Earth right here. He meets with the Nordics, which are these absolutely gorgeous, long, blonde-haired women with massive tits, huge. They're unfathomable, colossal tits. And he's basically gets shown the secrets of the Earth, which is basically an Antarctica. Then there is. So eventually, he gets back into his plane. As he gets away from this terrain, from this amazing city that he just went in, he managed to communicate back into camp, where it doesn't mention about the alien thing in it. No, it doesn't. Hold on. I need to make sure I read about the battle, because this is what it's all bloody about. And I thought it was in this book. I might stand corrected. Or was this the internet doing this thing? Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Storm cannot distance. Yeah, it's not mentioning it. What the bloody hell? Okay, so this is just going to read this bit right here. We are leaving you now, Admiral. Your controls are free, whatever that bloody German word is. We watched you for a moment as the Flugrad disappeared into the pale sky. The aircraft suddenly felt as through caught in a sharp downdraft for a moment. We quickly recovered the control. We quickly recovered her control. We do not speak for some time. Each man has his thoughts. Okay. These photographs look fake, but that's probably just me on that one. Okay, so we are again over a vast area of ice and snow and approximately 27 minutes from base camp. We radioed them. They respond. We reported all conditions normal. Base camp expresses relief as our re-establishment contact. 300 hours, we landed smoothly at base camp. We had a mission and log entries. And March 11th, 1947. We have attended a staff meeting at the Pentagon and have stated fully my discovery of the message from the master. All the duly recorded. The president has not been advised. I'm not detained. I am now detained for several hours, 6 hours, 39 minutes to be exact. I am interviewed intently by top secret forces and a medical team. It was not an ordeal. I am placed under strict control via national security. Provision for the United States of America. I am ordered to remain silent in regards of all that I have learnt on the behalf of humanity. Incredible. I remain that I am a military man and I must obey orders. December 30th, 1956. Final entry. So these last few years elapsed since 1947 has not been kind. I am now making a final entry in this singular diary. In closing, I must state that I have faithfully kept this matter secret as a direction, as I directed all these years. Sorry, guys, screw up my words. We have been completely against the values of moral rights. Now I've seen the sense of long-term nights coming on, and the secret will not die with me. But as all truth shall, it will be a triumphant, and so it shall. This can be the only hope for mankind. I have seen the truth, and it has quickened by spirit. It has quickened my spirits, I should say, and has set me free. I have done my duty towards the monstrous military industrial complex. Now the long nights began to approach, but there shall not be no end. Just as long as nights of the Arctic ends, the bright sunshine of truth shall come again. And those who are the darkness shall fall into the light. For I have seen the landing beyond the pole, the center of the great unknown. Admiral E. Byrd, United States Navy, 24th December, 1956. I don't think I can read anymore. I've done so much reading. I'm not used to it, but I hope it kind of makes sense. But it doesn't mention about the battle. It doesn't mention about the battle. Why am I got this one missing? This is the whole point. This is like the juicy bit. Hey, Jammy Music, man. Nice to see you, man. How's it going? Hey, how's it going, brother? Nice to see you. Hey, I'm Moody as well. Moody Mongrel. Nice to see you. Nice to see everyone. Right. Okay, I need to use Grok. Grok, where are you? Because I'm just trying to find out where this battle come from, because like I said, guys, once you start to study these certain topics, and I think Hidden would say the same now, it could be any sort of related topic, like Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk project, or Roswell, the Pentuck incident, the Gulfbury sighting. You start to, I'm not saying Pentuck incident here, but I'm just saying that you will start to notice the bullshit behind it. And there's a lot of things that don't really necessarily make sense. I am just briefly going to bring out the Y files, just the end bit, okay? Because it just mentions some very, very good points. But in terms of the battle, where am I getting that confused? Because I think that might have been the internet. Is that the internet really taking these stories, especially, obviously, the book that you're seeing right here? That's where the stories come from, man. This is where it literally all started. I thought Kenneth Williams was the great order, but listen to Nick wrestling with English shit. Mate, I'm doing the best. Hey, Sensei can help me with this one. I did all right, didn't I, Sensei? Hope you're doing well. Mate, it's a learning curve. And Merry Christmas, Jamming Music Man. Yeah, it's bloody next week, isn't it? It's crazy. Oh, Science Evidence Fringe. Oh, sorry, mate. Like I said, I was reading really badly, and I forgot to look at chat. But yeah, I'm back on chat now. So yeah, again, in terms of the stories of the battle, I think possibility it might have come from the internet. And because I'm a lazy bastard, I'm going to put it in Grok right now. Where did the battle in Antarctica happen? Operation Highjump. Grok, could you save the day for this one? I don't normally use Grok. It's just if I need to research something really, really quickly, it's kind of cheating. I don't really like it. So what it's saying here, the battle claims to be originated from fringe books, neo-Nazi publications, misquoted Byrd's interviews, and large later establishments, not primarily evidence supported them. Yeah, but I want to know where the publication came from. Perception 1939, New Schwabenland. Yep, we covered that. Completely different stories. Where did the UFO battle story originate from? Sorry, guys. I just want to get this down to a T. I'm not saying Grok's going to give me the right answer, but at least point me in the direction of where these stories come from. Because, like I said, I think it was primarily the internet that really pushed us forward, and there's a lot of misquotation as well. And I think it's worth going through that. It's not really telling me. Oh, that's a bit of a shitter, isn't it? I thought it was in that book. Okay, fine. Well, I was wrong then. Bird, bird, bird. The bird is a word. Right. Okie dokie. Right. Tell you what. Quotations from Arnold E. Bird. There's a quotation that I mentioned in the book that Admiral Byrd said on the Olympus in that Chilean newspaper, stating that the United States needs to defend itself from enemy fighters that can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. However, the quotation of that is actually misrepresented, and I actually have it here. Okay. If you actually translate the quote itself, which is actually in Spanish, into English, it actually says this instead. Okay, so it's saying that Admiral E. Byrd's warned today that United States should adopt measures to protect against the possibility of an invasion of the country by hostile planes coming from the pole region. The Admiral explains that he was not trying to scare anyone, but the cruel reality is that just in case of a new war, the United States could be attacked by planes flying over one or both poles. That's the quotation. But then the misquotation saying that the United States needs to prepare itself through enemy fighters that can fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. That's a misquotation. And I didn't realize that until I actually started doing research into it. So basically what Admiral Byrd is saying, I'm just going to read the actual quote right here. United States should adopt measures to protect against the possibility of an invasion of the country by hostile planes coming from polar regions. And that's what he's saying. And obviously he's saying that Admiral Byrd didn't want to scare anyone, but the cruel reality is that in case of a new war, the United States could be attacked by planes flying over one or both poles. That's the quotation, all right? But there is one real strange quotation by Grand Admiral Karl Donitz. I just call him Donuts, basically. I don't think I've got it here, but basically he says, this is a quotation. So yeah, this is it. Oh, I want to get rid of that. Done that. We've done that. Okay, so this is what it's saying here. So I need to tell you who Grand Admiral Byrd is. Not Grand Admiral Karl Donitz, because he went into America after the war. And I'm just going to tell you who this guy is right now. Just bring my notes up. Okay, so Karl Donitz was a prominent German naval officer during World War II. And he was pretty much the pioneer for the U-boats, otherwise known as pack wolves tactics. Obviously, he was a Nazi. He was an SS officer. And he was pretty much in command with the U-boats in Antarctica. So, I mean, it is allegedly he was part of escaped Nazis after the war, and obviously one of them was obviously out of Hitler. In fact, if you want to know where Hitler is, I think you need to find where Hans Kammler, because he's another one that went missing. There's a few people that went missing. There was Hans Kammler, Martin Bormann, and Heinrich Müller. I mean, these people were like top head of the Nazi regime, top of the SS, and they all went missing after the war, never to be found again. They probably went to America and all that. So yeah, Karl Donitz, basically, he was head of the U-boats sanctions for the Third Reich, and he made a very interesting quote in the 1940s, and it actually says this: the German submarine fleet is proud to have built for the Führer, Hitler, another part of the world, a Shangri-La on land, an impenetrable fortress. Okay, let me just read that one more time. Okay, so obviously the U-boats were going back and forth, allegedly from probably from Germany to Antarctica or from Argentina to Antarctica. But again, let me just say that quote one more time. The German submarine fleet is proud of having built for the Führer in another part of the world a Shangri-La on land, an impenetrable fortress. Are you talking about Antarctica there? But that is an actual quote, all right? It's still a mystery. It really is, and I think it's one of those. Like I said, we're never going to get the gist of it. But there's one thing I've noticed through researching this Operation Highjump is just, I mean, this goes with anything with ufology. The amount of bullshit that goes with this. I keep on seeing so many videos of the great battle between Admiral Byrd. Obviously, when he came back, I mean, this is what it's not mentioned in that book that I just showed you, that which I read really badly. But the fact that when he came back to base, he saw these Howler-Blue flying saucers rising out of the water, and they were shooting, and all these flying Howler-Blue flying saucers everywhere. They were actually shooting down onto these. It was like a massive battle that actually took place with laser cannons, and apparently a battleship got sunk. And like I said, in the publication of the secret diaries of Admiral Byrd, it mentions that these flying saucers has swastikas on it. Is that to do with the Howler-Blue and real flying saucers? Which actually makes me go back a little bit, because Howler-Blue and real flying saucers didn't really technically come out until 1992. The same year this book came out, but I think this book came out in 1990, so this was 2 years before that. So it's interesting. It makes me think. It really does. Like I said, it's going to be one of those conspiracies where we're never going to find the truth. It's one hell of a story. It's a bloody good story. Don't get me wrong. I get great enjoyment out of it, especially when it comes to the UFO battle. But in realistic terms, it does seem like the internet, what the internet does best, basically, it's essentialized a lot of these stories and making it more clickbait material. Like the videos I've seen was like the UFO battle, and you've seen all these AI generated videos of these Howler-Blue flying saucers flying around, shooting these bloody laser cannons at these aircraft carriers. And it just seems quite ridiculous now, really. But yeah, again, with the Middle Earth as well, the hollow Earth theory, the Nordics get brought up again, this crystallized cities. It seems quite fantastic, really. Let's go back to Sensei, but they did. The Germans were so advanced in the 1930s and 40s, at 1920s, top of the scientific. Yeah, I mean, I did talk about Victor Schauberger and his propulsion theory elements for building a new type of anti-gravity propulsion system, which was obviously implosion instead of explosion. So yeah, I would agree that Germans were very, very advanced. Whether or not what technology they actually had, this is another thing, because like I showed you in those publications, they had sound cannons, ultra-ray guns and stuff like that. It was quite wacky stuff. So in one aspect, I understand why the Americans and why the Soviets and Russians and even the British as well wanted to take the Nazi scientists, because there was like a lead up to the Cold War. There was some sort of stigma between, Russia and America. So they're trying to get those Nazi scientists, and obviously the ones that worked on these so-called miracle weapon systems, these advanced. I mean, I'm not glorifying the Nazis, but they were way ahead of their time in terms of technology. I mean, what they managed to achieve in the Second World War is quite impressive, really. In terms of like taking over Europe, it's like blitzkrieg. Really sort of. There's no way they were going to win with the Americans and British, honestly, France involved with that, especially the whole dominant of Europe as well as the Americans. It's just, I just couldn't see them winning the war. But what they managed to do in that time period is quite astonishing, really. But it makes you think, if they did have these anti-gravity flying saucers, why didn't they use it during the war? There would have been mass sightings of these things. Maybe it was too expensive. Who knows, man? Huge leap. But whether or not it's actually to do with anti-gravity, I always find that fascinating, and that's one aspect of my research of German flying saucers is, did they build anti-gravity flying saucers? Can we trust the information coming out, which I showed you where the information comes from, the photographs, the blueprints, whether the origin of the story, where it actually came from, etc., etc. I talked about hours and hours on this, but still I'm a bit like 50-50. Well, I just don't believe they built anti-gravity flying saucers. I do believe they built the Bell project, because there's documentations to back that up, that they were working on some sort of program, experimental device, which was obviously the deglocker. But with Howler-Blue and Vril, I'm just a bit, we would have seen them all over the place if they would have perfected it in 1930s, which I've shown you publications from the Vril project. And what was the other one I showed you the other day? That was Galactic Empire, Aldebaran. But yeah, it's where it all began, guys. Where it all began, and I've talked to death on this subject. But nevertheless, I do find it interesting. But in terms of can we trust Admiral Byrd's diary, I think I'm just going to show you something just briefly. Now, I don't like to show other people's videos. Like when I do, like, no offense, Hidden, if you're still listening, but when we have like a topic, for instance, like Operation Highjump, and I just play the Y files video, that is for me is a lazy way of research. No offense, you know, I like to go through like publications and stuff like what I've been showing you today. So, but nevertheless, I'm not having a go at Aiden because he is my brother from another mother. I'm just going to bring up just the very, very last bit of the Y files, just quickly, just as like a bit of a recap roundup. All right.
The UFOs described by the sailors in 1947 behave an awful lot like UFOs were. Okay, talk about a story having it all. UFOs, Nazi bases, government cover-ups, even Hollow Earth. And I've done...
Okay, so everything I've just talked about in terms of what Admiral Byrd has mentioned is obviously the White Files has done this a terrific job, but as just a roundup recap of AJ's explanation, which is probably I would go what AJ is saying here, really, in terms of where the information is coming from. And this is what people need to pay attention to. People say, oh, you debunking. Is like, look, in terms of a researcher, you need to look at both avenues, and you have to look at the skeptical side. You have to look at the debunk side. Even if you get offended, you shouldn't really. It's just people's opinions. It doesn't mean necessarily that means that it's true, but I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to at least spend a bit of time to listen to what the person has to say. So let's just listen to what AJ is. Literally just a couple of minutes. It's not half an hour. It's just about 5 minutes, guys. All right.
A lot of research on Hollow Earth. So if you want to see that video, let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'll tell you right up front. There's a lot of the story that can be debunked, but not all of it. Let's start with Admiral Byrd's secret diary. It's not real. First of all, the flight in the diary takes place in the North Pole. So we're already off to a rocky start since Antarctica is as far south as you can get. And some of the log entries are almost identical to actual published log entries from the Admiral. The same types of instrument failures, engine issues show up in both places for some reason. Also, whole paragraphs of what the master said to Admiral Byrd seem to be plagiarized from the 1937 film Lost Horizon, where the main character is talking to the Dalai Lama, who issues the same kind of warning. In 1964, a book about the Hollow Earth was released by Walter Siegmeister under the pen name Raymond Bernard. Admiral Byrd is mentioned quite a bit in the book. Bernard went on to write lots of books about UFOs and Hollow Earth. And later, when Byrd's secret diary appeared,
here we go.
Guess who wrote the foreword? Yep, Raymond Bernard. But the dead giveaway for me, the secret diary is full of exclamation points. Like, lots of them. If you read any of Byrd's other logs, no matter how excited he gets, he doesn't write like he's posting on Reddit. He writes like a gentleman. So what about the Nazis? Here's where it gets tricky. The Schwabenland did go to Antarctica in 1938, but its mission was to secure new ports for whaling, to supply Germany with its own whale oil for margarine.
Whoa. A Nazi mission to the South Pole for a delicious buttery spread?
Exactly. Germany wasn't at war yet, but Hitler was planning it. A lot of oil and fat-based products were imported. Hitler wanted to make sure that these industries could continue and his army could be fed in case foreign supplies were cut off. The Nazi mission did claim some land for Germany, and it's widely thought that they did look for a location for a base and maybe even tried to build one, but no evidence of a base has been found. However, Nazi artifacts have been found in the Arctic, in the north, which could be why this story continues to circulate. But so far, nothing in the south.
Could be underground.
It could be. I'm not...
Hey, how's it going, Trini Mac? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, brother. Nice to see you.
Saying nothing's there. I'm just saying we haven't found it yet.
Or they found it and aren't telling anybody.
Well, that's always a possibility. The U.S. government did lie about the real purpose of Operation Highjump. And it's true Admiral Byrd never spoke about it publicly, except for those cryptic comments in the Chilean newspaper El Mercurio. El Mercurio is a real paper, and Admiral Byrd did give them an interview. Obviously, the article was released in Spanish, but when it was translated back to English, his words were twisted around to make the story sound more dramatic.
Never let the
There you
facts
go.
get in the way of a good story.
Right. Byrd never said there are ships that can fly pole to pole at tremendous speeds. He said the United States could be attacked by planes coming from the poles, and it should be ready for that. And Operation Highjump had a press contingent, about a dozen reporters giving daily reports. There really wasn't much going on, so rather than send back a 3-word story, lots of ice, the reporters added their own flair. For example, Byrd did find a small lake that had uniquely warm temperatures with algae growing in it, but it was reported as a land of blue and green lakes and brown hills in an otherwise limitless expanse of ice.
And the UFO attack?
Right. In 1991, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, millions of secret documents were released. And one of those, written in 1947, was a description of Operation Highjump. And in 2006, a Russian documentary was released based on that secret intelligence report. The Soviets did believe that Operation Highjump was a mission to find and destroy a Nazi base. And look, with all that firepower, I don't think that's a stretch. The reports of the battle with UFOs comes from the Soviet documents. But it's iffy on the facts, and they got some of the names of the ships wrong. But they did get some.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. What AJ made is that I didn't have the original documents from the Soviets talking about Operation Highjump, because what they did say in this documentary, which is all in Russian by the way, which is actually on my Cosmic Twilight channel, you'll be able to see it, is on there. They were talking about Operation Highjump, but why was there a massive military force being put forward at this time period, especially a year or two after the Second World War, when apparently the Nazis already surrendered. And they were basically alluding to that the fact that the Germans did have an underground base established in Antarctica, and it was mentioned in this diary. So, and but in terms of the UFO attack, well, this is what AJ's saying here, is in terms of the actual Soviet documents.
Right. And the U.S. military has a history of changing a ship's name and rewriting the ship's story if it serves Navy policy.
Propaganda.
Always. The Soviet report said that UFOs weren't trying to destroy the American ships, which they easily could have done. They just wanted the ships to turn back. The mission was cut way short. The official reason for that is weather. But that's a lot of resources wasted because of weather. Were there really UFOs protecting something down there? Or is this disinformation deliberately leaked to the Soviets by US intelligence? I don't know. I've debunked as much as I can for you. Even though a lot of the story is false, not all of it is. And it seems as the only way we'll get answers is to go to Antarctica. But if there's one thing that every government in the world agrees on, it's that whatever is down there needs to stay there. But I'll leave you with these final thoughts. Just a few months after Operation Highjump, a UFO allegedly crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. The location of the crash is only a few miles from the world's first nuclear explosion. And Admiral Byrd did go missing for 3 hours and arrived back at camp 3 hours late. He was in a small, short-range airplane. So why didn't he run out of fuel?
Very, very good point. See, I like AJ. You balance it between the two. People say, oh, you're skeptic. No, you need to talk about that sort of stuff. And I think it's actually worth really going through that, because AJ makes it shows you the conspiracy side, but it shows you the debunk side. So look, guys, we need to ask these questions as well. So we can say with the UFO battle, all to do with Admiral Byrd's diaries. Well, we'll talk about the Hollow Earth here with the meetings with the Nordics, the massive, fantastic city, and even the Mammoth as well. But again, the Soviet documents suggesting that there was some sort of battle that took place. I need to clarify that, because I tried to find these documents and I couldn't really find anything in terms of what they're actually mentioning. But they were basically, in terms of what basically the gist of this actual document from what I've researched so far, I don't think it mentions anything about UFO battle. This is what I was trying to find out where it started from. But they knew that there was a massive military force heading into Antarctica 2 years after the defeat of the Third Reich, Nazi Germany. But nevertheless, I still find this extremely interesting. I still remain open-minded what actually happened down there, and whether or not the Nazis actually had a base established. Whether or not it's just for resources, for hideout. Maybe Maria Orsick's there. I don't know. I find it fascinating, and I shall keep it on the cards in ufology. Look, we always bring up like Operation Highjump. We always do. It's fascinating. Hey, Spirit of Kenny, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you, brother. Hecklefish speaks to the people. Yeah, I like Hecklefish. Sophie can come back now. No, Ross as well. Don't worry, it's fine. But yeah, interesting. I really do find this absolutely fascinating. Operation Highjump. So I think that's it for Operation Highjump. Don't worry, we're going to move on to something funny now. I've got some Art Bell's best funniest moments, and some of it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I hope I found that just a bit interesting. I thought it's worth going back to. Sorry, my bloody nose. Oh God, itchy. It's worth going back to publications like this to see what the conspiracies were saying back then compared to what it is now. And you can see how the involvement of the internet has expanded these conspiracies, these UFO topics. And again, it's just adding bits and pieces of information there that might not be true, but the internet just takes it over because it's just fantastic stories to talk about. But necessarily, it's not necessarily the truth. Do you know what I mean? But this is why I like publications, because it predates the internet. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very controversial book. Whoa, by a very controversial man. So there we go. Operation Highjump. I hope that was a bit interesting. Sorry for my my lack of reading skills. I do get better. I think I've improved over time. I think I have. I'd be some great Art Bell video. Oh, mate, I fucking might as well get into it now. So, yeah, so there was like the best moments of Art Bell that came up, and I started listening to it, and have been pissing myself laughing, and some of it is absolute a doozy. So, I've got some other stuff to talk about in terms of ufology, and some of it's going to sound a bit of a bummer, but it's just my perspective on things in a way. But nevertheless, let's bring up Art Bell. Okay, which one should we do first? Where are you to? There it is. Art Bell. Okay. I'm not going to play all of it because I mean, I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got quite a number of them. What should we do? All right. Should we do Best of Art Bell, Open Lines, Volume 30? There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's bring this up. Let's have a laugh. So, at this point, yeah, that's not on my cards, mate, but there is somebody actually sounds quite like him. It might be this one, not too sure. But anyway, just sit back and relax. Pour yourself an adult beverage. Have a fucking 420 if you wanted to. And let's just listen to just some little extracts. And these are funny clips, mind. This is going to be entertaining, all right? So we got one guy who claims to do some exorcisms. Right, you ready? Where are you to?
West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hello.
Can you hear it?
This is New York.
That's you, sir.
Good to talk to you again.
Thank you. Where are you?
Los Angeles area.
L.A., okay.
Yes, sir. As I told you when you picked up the phone, I had part of an exorcism of about 2 minutes.
Oh, that's right. You're the gentleman who once played an exorcism for me on the air, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And you have now another exorcism.
Well, I have another one. Yeah, I ran across it.
Now, there's nothing that you're in what you're about to play that I cannot air, is there?
No, sir.
This is a real exorcism.
Yes, it is.
He
had several. This is just one of the demons that left him.
All right, go.
Okay.
This.
I plead the blood of Jesus over the door to his soul. The blood of the Lamb, the blood of the Lamb, the blood of the Lamb, the blood of Jesus, the blood of Jesus. Now, Jim, get out of the way. Father, in the name of Jesus Christ, if there's any evil left in there, I ask that it come up now and be forced to get out of there. In the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, was manifested to destroy the works of the devil. Come up, Spirit. Put your name and line up to the Holy Ghost. In the name of Jesus Christ, as the servant of the Most High God, I command you to speak only when spoken to. What is your name? What's your name?
I'm down to you.
Try to ask for Michael Archangel to take his sword right now and put to this devil's throat. In the name of Jesus Christ.
Oh, please, I'm going to rest Jesus' name.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Oh, I hate that name.
What is your name? What's your name?
Lust.
Lust. Are you the only one left?
Yes. I'm the only one left.
Jesus, did God forgive him of his sin of lust?
Yes, he did. I hate that.
Do you have any legal right in him?
No, I don't.
I command you to speak only when spoken to and say what I tell you to say. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
You're the only one left?
Yes.
I take that answer and I hold it up to the Holy Ghost right now. If he's lied to me, Father, I ask to be smitten and thrown into torment. Come up, Lust. Come up, Lust. Come up, Lust. I command you to go to the pit. You're not ready till I tell you. I command the spirit of lust to come up. Come up. Come up, Lust. Jim?
Yes.
You're free, brother.
Amen.
This is the last one.
God is good.
There you have it. Lust was exorcised. Well, that's one I hadn't heard before, that's for sure.
Oh man, it gets better. There's a Y2K one here. Oh, is it on the same one? 32 or something like that.
Friendly dog. It wasn't a ghost.
Oh,
And
I don't know that.
Wildcard Line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. I wanted to talk to you about witchcraft.
Oh,
anyway, another one is another actually boring place. And because of time constraints, you couldn't let her. Furthermore, there was me in the ribs. It was.
There's something about.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell you what, Moody, I found it. I found the Area 51 plane. I don't think I've heard this one, so we're gonna watch this one. Listen to this one together. Right, ready? So this is it. The Area 51 plane caller. Right. I have not heard this one, so this might be a doozy. Right. Let's have a listen.
again, let me tell you, Art, answer the Wildcard Line. My boyfriend is in a small plane north of Las Vegas, ready to fly into Area 51. He's been trying to call you by cell phone.
I got that as well.
And here he is. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello there. Is this Art Bell?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, my name, I won't give you my last name.
Okay, wait a minute, sir. Hold on. The fax is signed by somebody named who?
Jill.
Jill. That is correct. So you are the one.
That's my girlfriend.
Yes, sir. Where are you?
Well, I'm up here from Fort Worth in my little airplane. It's a long sea I built myself. It's a Vergroup 10 design with the Ford Canard. I'm not sure if you know the kind. It's an experimental aircraft.
No, I'm not.
Not anymore.
No, tell me about it. What kind of airplane is it?
Well, it's a long easy. It's got 120 horsepower like homing in it, but we had it bored and stroked and fixed it up a little bit. It usually flies around 140 to 160 indicated airspeed. I'm right now at 7,000 feet. You know where this place called Indian Springs is?
Indian Springs, yes.
Yeah. Well, I've been flying now for about 49 minutes here between Beatty, is that what you call it, and Indian Springs. And I figure I'll just go on up here and try to get into this Area 51. I'm right south of this Nevada test site, or Nellis Air Force Base.
Listen.
And I'm right outside this restricted zone.
Listen to me. When you fly into that zone,
yeah,
they are going to either force you down or shoot you down. Don't you know that?
Well, you know, I've been in a lot of Air Force bases, and I've been in the Air Force for many years. I'm an ex-Air Force, but I'm just going to tell you that, you know, as American citizens, we have the right to know what's up there in this Area 51. And I've been listening to you boys talk about this. Hold on here, I'm making a turn. Just a second here. And I'm going to go on up there and see what's going on. And I just wanted to let you know about that before I do that, don't you know?
How long How long do you estimate it's going to be before you
I figure about 12, 14 minutes. I can crank this baby up a little bit here. Let's do that. Let's crank this thing on up. We got some pretty good mountains here off to my west, don't you know? I'm turning up north right now, and I can see the Air Force Base out there in the distance. It's got 3 runways. It looks like they're all lit up, and A-shaped. It's like north-south. Got a lot of desert up here, don't you, boys?
a lot of desert? Yes.
A lot of desert.
You're liable to get yourself killed.
I'm sorry, sir, you have to speak so loud. I cranked this engine all the way up here.
I said you're liable to get yourself killed.
Well, we'll get up there in a few minutes, yeah, and we're just going to see what's going to happen, because this is I've got Red Crosses painted on this baby, and I got hospital on it, see? And maybe they're going to think that I'm on some kind of a mercy flight and I'm just off course. And I've got the radios cut off, so you can have radio failure, don't you know? And so I'm going to hold this thing steady here about around 65, 6,800 feet.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing
this? I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm a American. My family has been American for years, and I want to get down in here and I want to find out what's happening.
All right, then why are you doing it at night?
American hero.
Because that's the best way to get in here.
But even if you manage to overfly the area,
I'm in the restricted zone. I just entered the restricted zone. I see a bunch of lights out there. Looks like some kind of a searchlight coming on.
You're in the restricted zone now?
I just crossed that restricted zone. I'm going to drop this thing down.
I'm telling you, you're going to get shot down.
Hold on here now. I got my pressure suit on. I don't really need one of this kind of aircraft. It's not like a jet, but it helps us. When I make some tight turns here, and I'm going to cut down here. Now, let's see what these boys are going to do. I don't see anybody coming up here yet. I just see a bunch of lights. But I'm pretty far from that Area 54, and I'd figure about another 8-9 minutes here. And it's hard to calculate it right now trying to talk to you. I'm trailing an antenna out here about 30 feet so I can keep this phone conversation. If we get cut off, then... But I'm going to go up here and see what's going on. They say there's a bunch of UFOs and there's all kind of things out here. And I want to get this baby right down here about 1,000 feet. And we're going to see if there's any UFOs or anything out here, what's going on.
Listen, I think you're making a mistake.
Yes, sir, I might be.
Yes, it's not now.
You know, our tax dollars pay for all this. And these boys, they've been hiding everything under all this black project and all this great funding and all this kind of thing.
Sir, hold it. Don't you think that we have a right to national security secrets?
I think we have, not really.
There's this one thing I noticed with listening to Art Bell's show. There's you get your typical American like hero. Like, this guy is it. You know, I thoroughly enjoy people that talk. Like, there's one of them about vampires, and it's like, so, are you a vampire? Please call in. You know, it's hilarious. We'll continue with this. This sounds
because you know they have these J-11 and J-15 satellites up there, and the Russians, they know what we're doing, and the Chinese, they've got satellites down here. They know what's going on. The only thing that don't know what's going on is the common folk like me and you. And us common folks got a right to know because we're funded all this.
How long have you been planning this?
I got this thing down here about 1,000 feet. I've been planning this thing now. I'm right on the deck, not quite on the deck. I'm at 1,000 feet. Boy, they got light bulbs popping up everywhere. I'm telling you, they got searchlights. There's about 4 of them out here. And I've been planning this now for, anywhere from a month to 6 weeks. It took me a while to paint up the plane because I had to use that Imron. The only thing to stick to this gel coat I got on this thing. This thing's built. The
thing is, it's how you can easily hear and tell he's in a bloody plane. I'm like, really, I've never heard this. I'm really, literally really concerned.
Out of Kevlar or carbon fiber. I got it dressed 8G positive, 10G negative. It's overbuilt. I tell you what, I'm going to get down here and squirm like a little frog that's just stepped on by a big dog when I get down here. In a few minutes here, I'll tell you that. Because I'm not going to... Hey, looks like there's a F-16 coming up here.
I wouldn't be surprised. You're making a mistake.
There's somebody down there. He's got some afterburners on because I can see him. He's about 5 miles out. That old boy is cranking. Yes, sir. and I see something opening up here on the ground. I'm pretty low now. I'm starting to pick up all kind of buildings down here. I see something here is level with the ground, and they're opening this thing up. There looks like something's coming up out of that. I can't tell you what it is. It must be on some kind of a. Hold on here. I gotta make this turn.
All right.
I think this little boy's gonna head up here for me.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, he's gonna be up here right directly because he's in the F-16. Sure as hell. He's coming to hold on here.
I would advise you to turn your.
We can do this.
I would advise you to turn on your radio.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We can do this now. Come on here. Hold on, this old boy's coming up here. Now he's got his lights. He's got his lights on and he's flashing me.
Yeah, he's probably.
All right, I'm waving at you. No radio. No radio. No radio. He don't know that.
Well, if I were you, I'd turn it on.
Folks are listening to Art Bell because everybody listens to Art Bell.
Well, maybe if you're making.
I gotta get there.
You're making a bad calculation because if they're not listening, you're going to be shot down.
I don't know what he's going to do here.
Yeah, why is that wailing sound going on? Is he going into a descend or something like that? I'm not too sure.
Rocking his wings at me right now. He's rocking his wings and he's cutting in front of me. And you know this. Oh, don't cut from me now, because if he cuts that close, stay off. Stay off. He can hear the vortex from his engine. From Pratt and Whitney engine. We're gonna just like twin tornadoes. If he gets too close, stay off, bro. Hold on there. I'm getting down on the deck. I'm going in. I'm getting down there. He ain't gonna get me. I bet
think it's from the aircraft, John.
They didn't get me over there. They're not going to get me over here now. Looks like some kind of rail gun coming up out of that elevator, that flat area over there that the doors opened up. It's got some kind of a weird-looking barrel on it with a light. And, oh, hell, they're doing something. They're shooting at me now. Oh, God. No, baby, I'm going in. I think I'm going in.
Bloody hell.
Well, I'm not sure what we just heard.
I don't know. Do you think that's real?
All I can tell you is I got a fax that read, Art, answer the wildcard line. My boyfriend is in a small plane north of Las Vegas and ready to fly into Area 51. He's been trying to call you by cell phone. I withheld the signature at the bottom of the fax so I could be sure that if I did get the person, I could verify it. Indeed, it was signed by Jill.
Yeah, there's one thing, Chillstar, I did notice is the fact that
again,
you did have a lot of people call in, obviously making stuff out, but it's still nevertheless pretty hilarious. I don't know. It's pretty convincing though. I have to admit, it's pretty convincing. But Moody, thanks for actually bringing that up. That's really interesting because I know Art Bell's got like a massive archive. I trust me, I'm not finishing yet because there's one of them that's absolutely hilarious. What's that? Joe's favorite Art Bell calls, Volume 1. Let's have a little look at this. Because there was one I was actually jet washing, and I was absolutely pissing myself laughing. I think the client came up. I was like, "Are you right?" Like, I was just like, "Yeah." It's just, it's like you won't get it. Oh, hold on. Okay, right. It's I think it's that one there. Let's have a look. No, I've got the wrong one up. Bloody idiot. Hold on. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Okie dokie. Who should we put on? Should we put Fanny on first? Yeah, let's put Fanny on. Where is that? Yeah.
Fanny in Alabama on the wild card line.
Oh yeah,
Fanny,
this is George Knapp actually taking over, but I just want you to listen to Fanny. All right.
Fanny in Alabama on the wild card line. Fanny, how you doing?
Hey, well, I know the reason why Barack Obama's mother can't be located. I believe that she's running from the law and the press because she knows the truth about her son being a Muslim, and I have proof of that. And if he's a terrorist, he's going to hide it, and he wants to get in the White House and use that to blow the whole world up. I believe in that theory, and I have pictures of him that nobody wants to look at. I gave it to 10 television stations, and they made out like they didn't see the pictures.
Is that right? What do the pictures show?
She kind of sounds like a Fanny. No.
This is him with two other Muslim men wearing a purple bubo robe and a white kufi hat, which is given upon completion at the Hajj after completing several steps. Just like in the Masons, when you're in the Shriner, you get a Shriner's hat. It's similar to that, only the Shriners are not the same. It's just a similar way of getting a hat.
So, Fanny, where'd you get these secret photos? Did they just come in the mail? Where'd you get them? Or are these photos of an Obama trip to Africa?
Yes, but this is a different trip and different photos. And if he is exposed, he can be impeached as a senator. And then if he gets elected president, he can be impeached for lying under oath and saying that he was born in the United States when he's not.
Well, hold on a second. Now, we're talking about a couple of different things here. You had photos that you think purport to show that he is a Muslim, which I'm not quite sure why that's a bad thing. But
well,
and now you say
about it.
He's lied about it.
Lied about that. He's probably lied about his intention to blow us up. If he told the truth about it, it wouldn't bother me nearly as much. I've dated a Muslim man before, but if I could go back again, I would not have, knowing that they're terrorists this way.
Well,
Fanny, you're taking it too far, darling. I thought it was going to be more PG-13 than that. Nevertheless, you got to listen to this one. This is hilarious. But I thought Fanny was a good, prime example. God bless Fanny.
Interesting times, to be sure. First time caller line, you are on the air. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
First I have to prod him with my electromagnetic stun gun facilitator here to get him to talk a little bit here. There we go. There, got a little electricity there. Okay, now, can you talk to the Art Max? Can you talk to him? What was that talking? Was that talking?
Hit him with a gun again, sir.
Okay, let's get the gun out. There we go. That's at 400,000 water, I think.
Okay.
There we go.
That'll get him going.
Does that scare you? You gonna talk now? You better start something. I know. I'll try the old harmonica.
Now you're hurting the animal.
I think they're saying, shut that thing.
You know what?
What was that?
You know, that's it. You know what my comment is? That dog wasn't even phased with the 400,000 volts. But that harmonica, that hurt. That obviously put that poor animal into pain. Oh, boy, the nighttime.
I got this one.
What is your problem?
Who are you referring to?
Well, everyone you've spoken to. The poor guy who called about the airliner being down.
Yes.
And he
asked me, I believe he asked me, sir, if this latest statement didn't blow Richard Hoagland's theory out of the water. And I said no, because it was not a determination. It simply is how they are leaning. Now, where did you detect rudeness in that?
Oh, well, I thought that was a reasonable response. But when the poor guy said it was a doctor so-and-so, and you said, well, I thought he was a doctor, and he said, no, sir.
He is not a doctor. That is correct.
Well, as if there's something wrong with the guy. You could simply the idea there was that you were so rude to him. As far as the rest of the conversation,
No, I
that
corrected
heard,
him. I said he is not a doctor. Richard Hoagland indeed is not a doctor, medical or otherwise, has no doctorate, and so the title is inappropriate.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but
Well,
I don't
where do
believe
you
it
see
was-
rudeness in that?
Well, I don't think there was a case for putting the guy down.
I didn't, sir. I didn't. I did not. I simply corrected him.
Yeah, and then on the Randy Weaver thing, after you told the guy that you didn't offer opinions about these things, then you turn right around and say, my opinion has always been about the Randy Weaver case. It was thus and so.
That is correct.
Yeah, but you put down the first guy. The second time,
No, I didn't put him down. I did not put anybody down, sir. I corrected him. That's it.
And then when it came to the guy who was calling about the white supremacists, you were rude and patronizing to the poor guy. He was just.
He asked me whether I thought the white supremacists were going to take over the country, and I said no.
Yeah, I felt that.
In what way do you see rudeness there?
Well, it's your tone and your spirit, Rod. Mr. Bell. You give the impression that somehow an innocent question is a stupid thing to do.
Well, I'm sorry you take it that way. I didn't feel that way about it. You took it that way, apparently. I don't feel that way about it.
Coming across. You also on the question about the web page, the fellow just asked a simple question. Sir, we're doing the best we can.
That's what I said.
As if he didn't think you were.
We probably have more information out, newsletter-wise and on the web, than anybody I know of, as a matter of fact.
Well, yeah, but all you have to do is tell him that in a nice way.
I thought I did.
About Farrakhan, the poor guy you cut him off.
You're incredible.
Yeah, you're incredible. First time I've ever heard you, but I was just tuning in and I thought, holy smokes, I don't know what this guy's problem is, but he's going to put down everybody who calls. That's a way of insulting everyone. So I don't.
What pussy?
Believe I'll be tuning in anymore.
Well, in that case, have a good night.
Yes, good night.
See you later.
That's what like Moody was saying. Like I've been listening to Art Bell more than I've ever before, and it's such a joy to hear. Like there's some cases where look, you get some really wacky callers come up, and it's just people. He's just having a bit of fun with it, I think you get a bloody pussy like this guy who just called up. I don't like your tone. It's like Art Bell's just like put him in his bloody place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Mel Karen, that's it. Perfect, Sophia, that's it. But yeah, I tell you what, I actually got it mixed up. This is probably the most funniest one that had me in stitches. I've got to bring this up. Volume 25. Where are you to? Volume 25. Where are you to? I tell you, I might as well bring it up here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. 2 seconds. I need to find which one it is. Art Bell. That one. Okay, cool. Right, you've got to hear this. This is for the 420 crowd. Unless you thought this might have been hidden. Listen to this.
Hello. Hello. Guard? It is, yes. Oh, let me turn my radio down.
By all means, turn it off.
Yeah, I was just calling in on this is Brian from Green Ridge, California.
Yes, sir.
And I just was calling in on the 215, the proposition out here in California.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just wanted to, actually, I was going to ask you if I could take a bong hit on the air.
Why?
Just in
that would just be showing off, wouldn't it?
Well, it wouldn't be showing off, but it would be just kind of letting Bill Clinton know that it's okay to smoke and inhale. I've got my bong ready. It's right here. I'm hitting it now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Art?
Are you talking through your bong?
I'm talking through my bong. I'm lighting my lighter.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what marijuana does to the brain and audio, too. I think he's taking it here. Yep, sounds like
good green bud.
Good green bud?
Yes, it's beautiful, Art.
Leroy, get this number.
And I am a libertarian.
All right. And your social security number is first time callers, area 702
He actually says his number.
1222. Oh, good Lord. I asked him what his social security number was, and he actually gave me the damn thing. Oh, your brain on drugs.
It's not.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So take a bong hit live on the show. That's awesome, man. You can actually hear him in the bong. Can you hear me, Art? Can you hear me? I got my head in the bong. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh, which one can I'll bring up like one more. I've got a good funny one here. And times. Oh, there was something about Y2K. Let's bring up the best Area 51. Which is that one now. Okay, cool. Right, we just do like a last one, and we can move on. Okay, beginning. Right, let's do this. So this is the best. So apparently people that actually worked in Area 51. Check this out.
Hello.
Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Hello, this is a first-time caller, long-time listener.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am a former employee of Area 51, and about, I'm a little bit nervous, but around April of last year, I had an alien experience, and I've been a little bit too nervous to talk about it, but now I'm able to speak about it if you like.
All right, calm down. I'll tell you what, a former employee of Area 51, eh?
Well, I was an IT guy. I was fixing their Unix server, and I had...
all right, that's good enough. So you were working on their computer setup, right?
Mm-hmm, their network and their workstations.
Okay. What I'm going to do is hold you over during the break, and believe me, anybody who worked for Area 51, I want to have a little chat with. So stay right there, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Very good. He did some important computer work for them. And the first question I have for you, sir, before we get into any detail of what you may have seen, is I would like to know, even to go to Area 51 to do contractual work, the kind of work you did, I would assume that you would have to sign some sort of document.
Okay, sorry guys, it's got the wrong one. It's actually this one here. Sorry.
Worker line, you're on the air. Hello there. What name do you wish to give?
Let's go with Dark Eagle.
Dark Eagle.
Right.
Raven and now Dark Eagle. And you, what is your status, sir?
What is my status?
Yeah, in other words, do you work there? Have you worked there or what?
25 years.
Are you presently an employee of Area 50?
Yes.
Oh. And you've been there for 25 years, my God.
Yes. We were working on back engineering of alien craft, S4, on Groom Lake.
S4.
Right.
And is people that cool like this going, should I really trust? You just said Area 51, S4. Like, we already know that through Bob Lazar. And this is like the 90s here we're talking about. So it's, but anyway.
And what, are you, do you want to say what kind of area you work in?
I just told you, S4 Groom Lake.
Well, okay, you actually work at S4.
Yes.
And you're confirming they're back engineering alien craft.
That's what I do.
All right. Can you describe? What can you tell us about these craft? What can you tell us? Well,
once we understand how they operate, and we get this information directly from aliens.
From live aliens.
Yes. Who we have persuaded to tell us about their craft, which we have there.
How many people would you say work there?
In my area?
Yes, sir.
4.
4 people?
In back engineering, yes.
In back engineering. And how successful have we been in back engineering?
Well, I think extremely.
So then would...
Most of the really advanced craft that we are now using in the military come from back engineering through Skunk Works and then out to McDonnell Douglas and others.
So the technology flows out of Area 51 and S4 into industry.
Yes. Once we understand the principles, then we are getting the prototype out, and then the full production starts.
How are you able to make this call to me?
Well,
I mean, obviously you can just pick
I
up
would
a
like
telephone.
someone beside me to know this, and you're the perfect conduit. I say it as I see it. I've been listening to you for years.
Are you an active member of the military or a civilian?
I'm a civilian now, but retired military.
A man called a little while ago about a door that he saw.
A portal.
A portal, yes. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very much like Stargate. You've seen that.
Are you able to explain what's on the other side of this portal? In other words, is it?
Well, it is basically a time machine, and I know you're interested in that.
I certainly am.
Yeah, and you go through it, and you literally go into the future.
All right. Well, for your sake, I'm not going to keep you on the line that long. Is there anything else?
Well, there's not any way they can trace this line.
It does sound different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to get on before we terminate?
Well, I just want you to know aliens are real. They are in Area 51 all the time, and they work closely with us. They think that we are the only hope of any world peace. They are very, very hesitant.
The thing is, it don't sound that convincing, isn't it? For someone that works in the military in Area 51, I think you need at least some sort of, no offense, some sort of intelligence, especially like the way you speak. Like, no offense, it's not going to go to Americans. It's just like, you would have thought, with these American establishments here, you would expect there's a certain mentality. Do you know what I mean? This guy is like saying buzzwords, if you know what I mean. Area 51, S4, etc. But yeah, no, thanks, Sophia, for that. Yeah, 'cause you know what I'm like. I always get my streams suspended if I play a video too long. I think it's all right, Bell. I think it's all right. I think it might be right.
Help us design weaponry.
Well, good for them.
Craft to go throughout the universe is one thing. Weaponry to destroy mankind on Earth, they are totally against.
Is that one of the reasons you made the call?
Yes.
I understand, and I thank you for your call, sir. Good night. Dark Eagle, huh?
Dark Eagle.
Well, I don't know. That part of it makes sense anyway, doesn't it? That they would have a great concern for any technology like that to be used for the wrong reasons. But technology is a neutral thing, pretty much. It can be used as you wield it, right? Good or bad.
Oh, God bless Art Bell. I think there's like loads and loads of videos. In fact, there's one about Y2K. Last one. Very, very last one. Which is that one. Okay. I'm actually got it right here. Is it 25? Yeah, Y2K. Right, here we go. Check this out. Last one.
The night when the rollover came of the millennium, and you just like sat there for a second or two, waiting to see if anything was going to happen.
Well, that's right.
I remember that vividly.
A lot of people say, the Y2 scare was such a scam. Well, it wasn't, actually. And there were hundreds of millions of dollars spent, thankfully, to prevent what otherwise would have been a disaster. And so it's one of those rare times when enough warning was served up that people did things ahead of time, and we didn't have a disaster, but it could have been.
Yes, and one of the...
Yeah, so what they're bringing up here is the Y2K. If you remember that back in the year 2000, like apparently all the electronics would like begin to fail because they couldn't comply with the actual timeline or the time reset. I can't remember. It's like 26 years, 25 years ago. But I remember I was like 9 years old. Like even The Simpsons did a video on it, the Y2K. year 2000. It was quite interesting. It's a bit like the 2012 effect, but the thing that we're seeing right now. But yeah, I remember seeing in the newspapers, the news articles bringing it up about Y2K. So there was a big ramp up to something that big was going to happen. And obviously nothing did happen. No.
Few people who was on the air at the time. I did call you because I've paid a little attention to shadow people, but it's gotten stronger and stronger. And just a week or two ago, I actually saw a shadow animal right here in my place.
Well, why not?
I turned around and I was going to head for the garbage pail, and I saw this like fly off and disappear through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most amazing thing I ever saw, because being a phenomenological kind of a guy, I really, had to see it for myself, and I actually saw it for myself.
I'm with you all the way. And there's why not? I mean, why not believe if there can be shadow beings, and then there could be shadow animals as well? I don't know what they are. I don't know what these shadow beings are, but I know that many, many, many of you see these creatures. I don't know if creatures is the right word. Entities, I suppose, would be closer. But enough people see them that we're dealing with some kind of real phenomena here. I just don't know what it is.
Oh, that's interesting, Nathan. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, you probably know about the hype anyway that was going behind it. I mean, in terms of the scheme, was there like companies making like schemes to actually prevent the Y2K? Like I said, it was a long time ago, but I remember it was like going to be a world-changing event, allegedly. Yeah, the Millennium Bug was the other word for it as well. Yeah, I just have like a bit of flashbacks of memories on that, but I keep on hearing like events like that being brought up on Art Bell, but I just enjoy these like call-in shows. I really do. So I think I'm gonna stop it from there. I'm gonna continue listening because I've got so much to cover, and we'll follow back next week's for some more hilarious ones. There were literally two like teenage boys claiming to be vampires, and the conversation between the two it's like the flipping Twilight Zone movie. I was laughing my head off. I'm like, these guys they take themselves way too flipping seriously. Then midnight happened and everyone went quiet for 2 minutes and nothing happened. Yeah, it's a bit like 2012, same sort of thing. Yeah, everyone went back to drinking. Yeah, obviously it was the millennium, wasn't it, at that time? Yeah, it was an interesting time, I have to admit. It seems to be like now we're in 2025, like there was a ramp up to something. Let's take that banner off. I think we're all right. I think we're safe now. There's like definitely like some sort of ramp up, like there's something in the air, but admittedly I would say every 10 years or so we go through this sort of time period, like the Y2K, like you just mentioned, the 2012 effect, and there's like a ramp up now, like a fake alien invasion, a spiritual awakening, or the apocalypse or something like that. Something's happening. It's all a bit topsy-turvy. Do you know what I mean? This is why I coined the phrase the 2012 effect, because it feels like something's coming, but then nothing happens. It's like a bit like ufology when to a certain degree. Who's that? Oh, hold on. What's this? Nate, did you ever see? Sorry, did you see? They are. Oh, bloody hell! I tell you what. I don't think you guys like this person, but he brought out a video. I can't remember what his bloody name is. I am screwing up these names. Steve, is it Stephen Greenstreet? Where are you to? Where are you to, you bastard? I have to admit, like, this, it's Stephen Greenstreet, who I do follow on X. You probably think he's a clown, an idiot, but I always listen to his perspective. And he put this video out yesterday, called "The Truth About Three-Eye Atlas and Avi Loeb's Aliens." And he pretty much sums up everything I've been saying about 3i Atlas, which is at its closest proximity, isn't it now? After tomorrow, it's leaving our solar system. And what's been astonishing as being a content creator is the fact that I spend in every single day trying to find information to talk about. And do you know what I'm sick of now? Is trends. That is like 3i Atlas was hitting the trend big time. It's a bit like the Steven Spielberg movie trailer that's come out. It hits the trends, and I'm just sort of sick and tired of going, could 3i Atlas be an extraterrestrial craft? It's like, no, it's a flipping comet. And like I said on the last time I talked about 3i Atlas, there were so many scientists and academics and even astronomers out there who's got papers out there in a scientific form. But then that gets pushed to the side, glossed over, and we've got Avi Loeb going on all these news circuits, and then the UFO community taking basically what Avi Loeb is saying and saying, oh, it's bloody got probes coming off 3i Atlas. It could end up going into Washington. It's got thrusters on this object. It's like, you've clearly got an agenda here, guy, man. What the hell is going on? And then the UFO community, by the way, who are not experts, are not scientists, are not astronomers, just regurgitate and say, yep, definitely extraterrestrial craft. I'm going to go, well, hold on a minute. Let's look at these academics. Let's look at these scientists who are not getting their voice heard. And that's what really annoyed me. I'm thinking, where is the common sense here? Where is the science? It's like everyone is so anti-science. No one believes in science anymore. And I think that's a very, very crude way of thinking. We need to accept science. And yeah, I understand NASA's gone quiet. It's very, very strange. But there are thousands of people that watch the skies. Ray the astronomer, he's the one, fantastic guy who's gave it a real clear perspective. And he's not jumped on the bandwagon that 3i Atlas is an extraterrestrial craft. And we know that the astronomers out there who are pushing that narrative always got Avi Loeb on the bloody show, which again, he's pushing a narrative. And I know people don't like to hear it, but as a UFO channel, it just has to be said. There is no common sense anymore. People are, I'm sorry to say this, but people are so gullible. They believe in anything. They're in this echo chamber. It's like, no, guys, we need to take a step back. Let's look at these academics who actually written papers on this. There's a slight extract I just want to play on this. I think it's fair to bring up. I do have a guilty pleasure of watching, and that's Professor Dave, I have to admit. Even though he can be a bit of a dick, but man, sometimes he can be spot on about things in a really dickish way. But just very, very quickly, listen to this, because there are science and academics who are not getting their voice heard. I'm getting pissed off about Avi Loeb. Like a smug face.
Alien claims regarding 3i Atlas are going to stay in the headlines for a while, much to the chagrin of other science professionals who have had it with Loeb's hijinks. Professor Dave, a chemistry scientist with a very popular YouTube science channel, released a scathing video calling Loeb a fraud, and he pulls no punches.
Avi has published a lot of papers. He knows how to write and publish papers, so he has absolutely no excuse for this kind of behavior. He doesn't go through peer review because he knows his claims are utter garbage. He doesn't care. He's a fraud now. He wants hype and book sales.
Oxford University astrophysicist Chris Lintott said that Loeb's suggestion that 3i Atlas was alien or artificial is, quote, nonsense on stilts, and is an insult to the exciting work going on to understand this object.
Perfect, thank you.
Steve Dash, an astrophysicist at Arizona State University, said, quote, people are sick of hearing about Avi Loeb's wild claims. It's polluting good science with ridiculous sensationalism. He later added that Loeb is making Harvard astronomer the scientific equivalent of Florida man. Speaking of Florida, Anna Paulina Luna, a
don't. I know you're going to go there, but I can't say no to a pretty face.
woman representing the Sunshine State, has championed Avi Loeb over the last year and mentioned Loeb and his claims in her official congressional letter to NASA, asking them to acquire and release more information on the mysterious Three-Eye Atlas.
Oh, leave Anna Polina Luna out of it. I know. Exactly, Nathan. Exactly. I can't say no to a pretty face. And she's slamming, man, I have to admit. But yeah, I do find like she is jumped on that bandwagon. But basically what Stephen Greenstreet is saying right here is that the fact that, you know, there are actual scientists and academics and even astronomers who actually put paper reviewed out there in terms of what this object could be. It's the third of its kind. It's the third of its kind. We've probably had thousands of them go over our past our solar system for millions of years. We don't really know. But this is like I said, the third of its kind, and we can learn from this. Instead of just jumping to this as an extraterrestrial craft because it hits the trends, I'm just done with that. I am done with that sort of stuff. I just rather have honesty on Alien Addict and say, listen, guys, look, we need to take a step back here. We need to review what's been saying. Is this guy got an agenda here? Am I supposed to believe the UFO community and everything they brought out in terms of anything that just gets regurgitated from Avi Loeb as gospel truth? I understand NASA has gone very silent. I understand that. It's very odd why they shouldn't do, because they're the world-leading space agency. But there are amateur astronomers that are actually doing the job for us. But unfortunately, that comes down to whether or not they had Avi Loeb on, because they're pushing the extraterrestrial hypothesis of a mothership, because it gets trends and views. That's a big part of content creator. I'm a bloody content creator. I know how these things work. Okay. But I just want honesty. And this year, we have not had it at all. The biggest downset of ufology this year was James's dildo. That all those big UFO channels that promoted James as potentially something real, you've just lost every single stretch of my credibility about your channel, because it was from day one, guys. You know what I've been saying about it. We were laughing at it. It was so obviously fake, and it's just, you see people just buying it. And still, when it was a hoax, people still bought it was real. It's just like, what's going on here? Space dildo, yay! James, the big dildo, mate. Did you not remember that? James's intergalactic metallic dildo? He had a rod that looked like the boogosphere, and then he got doxxed so quickly because he faked his death or some sort of spasm attack, which made himself look like a complete idiot. Yeah, so you cannot forget that is the biggest downfall, and I will not let that slip. People have gone silent now on that. It's like, oh, we're not going to bring that up. It's like, but who promoted it? You know, you're supposed to be big bloody channels here. You're supposed to be very credible channels with thousands of views, thousands of subscribers, promoting, oh, this is odd, guys. This is, I feel, look at this rod. It's a bit odd, isn't it? It's like, no, it's fake and gay. And then what happened? Who didn't see that coming? Me and Sheep Pop. I don't think we've, he didn't, mate. He says things differently. Trust me. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been so triggered in my life. I'm just going, what the fuck is going on with people? What is going on with people? I just don't get it. Talking about trends and stuff like that, let's just bring up X. Just sort of cap off. I've just got a few things to talk about. And one thing, everyone's got to check out Jackie Chan. I've been watching his stunts. It's unflipping believable, brilliant. I think that is Who Am I? I think, yeah, I love Jackie Chan films. Absolutely adore him. It's been a while, but yeah, his stunts is, in fact, if you put it on subtitles, actually normally they have it like dubbed over English. Jackie Chan's quite funny. There's a lot of comedy in his movies, I have to admit. But right, got this UFO sighting in China. Oh, that's it. Rumbling. That's it. He breaks his foot in that one. Yeah. My favorite one is Meals on Wheels. The three dragons, I think you call it. Jackie and two other people. I can't remember. Drunken Master as well. The Clock Tower scene in Project A. Yeah. Great movies, man. Really great movies. Right, check this out. I'm just going to fast forward it. Oh, there it is. Like a big orange. All right, dude. Come on. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, it kind of looks out of focus, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, mate, you stink of mud, mate. You're cute. You stink. Okay, right. I think more or less that might be out of focus. Right, okay. Do you know what? Hidden Underbelly sent me a link. He goes, brother, you need to go check this out, right? Oh, mate, you stink of mud. Sorry, dude. I love you, but you need to go off. Sorry, darling. Like, all I can smell is wafts of mud, like, from my cat's feet. It stinks. Yeah, Mills. Oh, dude, you're on my lap again, for Christ's sake. Oh, yeah, Mills and Wills, mate. And Drunken Master 2 and Armor of God. Yes, that's we nearly died on that one, Armor of God, and he smashed his head open. Yeah, I love my Jackie Chan films. But anyway, Hidden sent me a link. He says, mate, you got to go check this out. There's an actual auction to do with anything to do with ufology, but actual material related stuff. And I was like, really? This is interesting. It's all based in America. They actually had original UFO photographs, documentations, books, and Rendell C. Stevens, you know, a bit of a controversial figure, but he had his original photographs on there. Some of it was actually from Billy Meyer, but some of them were selling for thousands, and they actually was actually handwritten notes and all that at the back of these photographs. But check this out.
All right, there's the one. You can't really tell, but when you got it in your hand, 3,000. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that fighter jet. Look at that over there.
This is all original photographs. All original.
3,000. Now 3,100. Now 3,000. But now 3,100. Now 3,000. But now 3,100. 3,000. But now 3,100. Going once. 3,000 bid. Now 3,100. 3,100. Now 32. 3,100. But now 3,200. Now 3,000. But now 3,100. But now 3,200. Now 3,000. But now 3,100. But now 3,200. Going once. 3,100. But now 3,200. But now 3,300. Now 32. Now 33. Now 34.
Oh, mate, it's garden mud. He's been chasing mice. He's been in the bed. It's I can't stand it. It's that and old book smells. Makes me gag, mate.
Give me the last picture, and I'll show them the last picture. Pull out all the rest of them. We're gonna go run.
So this was the website that was happening. I was actually out with mates at the time, but I could not believe how much the auctions went for these photographs. They had literally so many different material. It was based in America, but yeah, £3,000 for a bloody photograph. Let's have a look. Who's else has got on there?
Number 37, 3,600, number 37, number 3,600, number 37, number 37.
$3,000 for a fake photograph of a UFO. Let's have a look. What else we got here? Oh yeah, that's a very classic photograph. Where is that to? There. Yeah, that one. I've actually got that in front of a VHS tape. 5,000. Is that Canadian dollars?
47.50 now 5,000 now 47 now 5,000 but now 52.50 5,000 but now 52.50 now 5,000 but now 52.50 5,000 bid now 52.50 now 5,000 but now 52.50 now 5,000 but now 52.50 but now 55
Fucking hell.
52.50 but now 55 but now 57.50 55 but now 57.50 57.50 now 55 but now 57.50 now 55 but now 57.50 a U.S. fighter jet chasing a UFO. This isn't fake. This isn't an alien movie. This is being sold today. Everybody goes, okay, all right. How do you get credibility? It's like getting a signed basketball. How do you know that it was signed by Michael Jordan? This was Chris Wyatt, a producer, with Wendell Stevens, meeting back in the 90s, putting together a show that they were going to publish on CBS. Doesn't get any better. You want to phone up Chris?
Yes.
You want to talk about it? There you go. And I'll give you one more split. 55 and a 56 now 55 and a 50 now 60 now 55.
God, it's unbelievable. Yes. Pronounce your name right. Trinity Mac. Yeah, they did. They actually had original declassified documents on there. In fact, let me just pop on. No, we sent it on email actually, so you can have a little look at this. I think Hidden, you sent it on email, didn't you? Yeah, it's immensely fascinating. I had no idea how much. Oh, there it is there. Yeah, got it. Right, here it is, guys. Check this out. I'll put it in chat right now. And you can go check this out for yourself because it has declassified documents, all the original photograph from back in the day. It's immensely fascinating. So if you want to go check that out, go ahead. But I couldn't believe the price. I would have bought these photographs, but not $5,000 worth. That's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, this was released. And then if you look at the bottom, it actually says AI generated. But this just shows you where we are now at the moment. Check this out one more time. It's good though, isn't it? Honestly, I thought that was real until I saw it says AI generated at the bottom there. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. I think that's it. Right. I'm just going to bring up one thing, okay? This.
Take a look at let's today is today's
So this trailer, disclosure day, sorry. That is sweeping ufology. And I thought, should I do a video on it? Is there any point of me doing a video on this movie coming out? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not really interested in it. I know it's something. I know it's AI. I know it's alien related, but in all honesty, it's stuff that Steven Spielberg has already done before. E.T., The Extraterrestrial. We've had Close Encounter with the Third Kind, Fourth Kind, whatever. I can't remember. It's been years since I've seen that movie. And what was astonishing, right? And this is kind of like, I'm not bashing people. Like, it's just how bizarre people are. They just like, this shows like there's nothing really going on in ufology at the moment. And we've gone from trying to find disclosure to this science fiction movie. And it's kind of hilarious seeing these people on X posting several times a day, or these YouTube channels uploading these videos, slowing down that crackling, curdling noise that woman was doing and going, what can it actually be? What is it, some sort of sign? And I'm going, guys, it's a flipping science fiction movie, man. I mean, I was like, what's going on? Like, you're not going to... And Steven Spielberg mentioned a quote. Is it in that page there? No, it's not. Steven Spielberg's. Don't quote me as the quote that he said, but he was saying that the fact that the government is hiding something, and we need to know the truth, something like that. And it's like, yeah, we know that. Like, tell us something we don't know. And it's like Steven Spielberg is going to give us something about disclosure, and I'm going, what's going on here, man? Do you know what I mean? It was just like a bit really weird. And there was someone on X, right? I'm not going to name who it is, he or she. And she posted something, right? Boasting that, oh, I got 2 million views for my slow down analysis of that woman doing that curdly noise and all that. And she just boasting about she got 2 million, she got 2 million views. It's like, why are you boasting about it? Like, who cares? It's a movie. Like, I'm probably not going to see it. Yeah, exactly, mate. It's a movie. And it's kind of just hilarious seeing these videos being uploaded that get the algorithm pushes to me. Breaking this teaser trailer down, for Christ's sake. Go, what's going on? What could this be? Is disclosure coming? How I should pay attention? And I'm one of those that take a step back and going, guys, come on. Really? Like, when that movie comes out, we'll be talking about it for about a day, and then we move on to something else. I just found it a bit odd, man. It's like people just trying to find the connections to something. Is whatever sticks. Do you know what I mean? There's like one video that got brought up, and it was like an arrow pointing to the logo. Why is this logo red? It's like, Why make content about that? And it was something like nothing to do with UFOs. Well, red symbolizes blood and Lucifer. I'm like, right, but this is a teaser trailer here. It's not, you don't know the full premise of the movie. People are bizarre, man. People are just bizarre. It's just this scratching the trend because it, like that person said, oh, I got 2 million views because of blah, 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 blah. It's just like not these narcissistic behaviors that get brought up. And it's just like, because they want to hit the trend. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of like done with that, guys, to be honest with you. Current day ufology, you know what I'm like on it. You know, we're not going to get the truth. And certainly this Steven Spielberg movie coming out, we're not going to get truth about anything. It's allude to stuff that we already know. Yeah, I just found it just a bit odd. That's all. I was like, guys, what's going on here? It says, oh, we're just doing it for trends, isn't it? For trends and and just to promote your UFO channel. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about it, guys. I'd rather talk about old school stuff like I've been doing today, talking about Operation Highjump and stuff like that. Yeah, I forgot anything else to talk about. So I didn't really mean to bitch that much. Like some people get put off by my attitude. Well, sometimes my tone. I understand that, but I just like to give my perspective on that one because I don't really hear UFO channels talk about it. Just don't really care about the movie. Same with Age of Disclosure. I bloody paid for it, for Christ's sake. I haven't even watched it. From the premise, from what people have watched, who's been paying attention to ufology since the beginning, especially through 2017, it's just a recap or stuff that we already know. So I'll probably watch it with the missus or something like that over Christmas. But yeah, strange times we're living in. Very strange times. But nevertheless, exciting times, worrying times. But it's okay because we're here together. We'll get through it. Don't worry. Don't worry. You got to say what you think. Yes, absolutely. I like to be what's the word? A believer but critical think about the belief system and whether or not there are actually flaws in the subject. I mean, there's a lot of flaws in ufology anyway. It was next June, is it? Yeah, I think it's next year, isn't it? Yeah. It's like 2026, very not too far from around the corner, isn't it? When you look at it. So yeah. Oh, look at that! Coming at 3 hours. I think I've done. I've got my work to do tomorrow. I'm off to sunny Bath. Might see someone famous. Can't think who it is. Where is he to? Where are you to? No, not you. Get out of here. Yeah. Do you know what? Somebody says, "How dare you insult this woman?" Like it's not her fault. She's got a wonky eye. I'm like, that's me, AI generated. It's not my fault. AI gave me a Down syndrome eye. Look, but anyway, yes, soon. Yeah, no, soon. Yeah, give me 5 minutes. But yeah, I'm seeing Graham at some point before Christmas. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get on the show, which would be quite cool. Be quite interesting. So yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think that's it. No probe zone. Oh, bloody hope not. Who's getting probed? Chat, who's getting probed there? Come on. Just say it's Ollie. Right, I think that's it. I think that's all my content I have for today. I hope it's a bit educational, a bit entertaining. Something that... Oh, yeah, he's working on his new book at the moment, Green Tea. Yeah. I've met her in person. She's very, very nice, very, very lovely. But yeah, he's working on a new book at the moment. That's why he's been away. I haven't really seen him that much this year. But yeah, he's working on his new book. Yeah, I think it's coming out next year. I know it's one of these like massive books, you know what? It's like Fingerprints of the Gods. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, guys, I hope this, like I said, it was educational, something a bit different. It's more looking into publications and see what Operation Highjump was about, especially what the Nazis were doing in Antarctica in 1938. I had a brain fart then, couldn't think. So yeah, I'm just trying to think. Plans for next week. I'm not too sure if me and Hidden are going live on the 24th. I don't think we are. But you will catch me on Tuesday, the 23rd. All right. So that'll be this Tuesday. And Friday, not too sure. I'll let everyone know in due course anyway. But definitely catch me on Tuesday. I actually got the day off that day, so I can stretch out the actually for the rest of that week, actually, so I can stretch out the live show a bit more. If there's anything spicy content to bring up, might bring up some Art Bell stuff because that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, I think that is it, guys. So yeah, thanks to everyone in chat. It's much appreciated. So come say goodbyes now, guys. We're gonna go end the show. It's gone up to 3 hours now. And yeah, it's much appreciated. It's because of you is why I continue doing the Alien Addict, and I get enjoyment out of it. And I hope for you guys, you know, I don't want to come across as a skeptic, but at the same time, there are things that needs to be said because, like I said, there's a lot of bullshit that comes with this community, and if I smell, taste it, I will call it out. Trust me on that one. But it's a learning curve, man. But I appreciate everyone in chat. Green Tea, thank you so much as always. It's always a pleasure. Living the dream. Yeah, thanks for being in chat, man. Much appreciated. It's nice to see you. New faces. Awesome. And Bob Lazar, thank you so much, brother. And Spirited Kenny, Sophia, thank you so much. Green Tea again, Sophia again, John P. Adventures, Spirited Genny, I think I said you twice. Hey, Ray Clay didn't say hello to you. Sorry, man. I do apologize, mate. But yeah, I hope, thanks for being in chat. It's much appreciated. Science Evidence Fringe, much appreciated, brother, as always. John Strokes and Paul Robertson and Sheep Hop Hop. Thank you, everyone. It's much appreciated. I've really enjoyed this show. Really have. So come check me on Tuesday at 8 o'clock for another rundown. And what I've got for you this time, guys, it was right in my face. We're going to go back to 1972 crisis cases. In fact, I've got two of them here, actually. I can judge between the two. So this November-December edition, these are going all the way back to 1972. So I'll pick which one and we'll do a new magazine on Tuesday. So it'll be something quite interesting. So yes, we've gone from the 90s to the 70s. It'd be quite interesting. So yes, come check me on Tuesday at 8 o'clock for another live show. And if you like the show, please like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And see you on Tuesday for, like I said, another live show. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to end it right there. I think that's everyone in chat. That is absolutely brilliant. Right. Catch you soon. Catch you Tuesday, and believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And I'll see you Tuesday. All the best. Nathan, thank you so much, brother, to say goodnight to you. This quote here, this is actually in the toilets for my boot camp. It says, "Only ever look back to see how far you have come." Very, very true. Very true. But guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you Tuesday. Have a very good weekend. If I don't see you, have a happy Christmas and New Year. And I'll see you whenever. All right. I'll speak to you soon.